Impala.
Sprayed the board, got to drink some cigs and a power inverter.
Wow.
Police noticed near empty can of black cherry twisted tea in the backyard.
That does not sound good.
No. Rustling in a nearby bush was also noticed by police. In the bush, they spotted Herb. They said he was covered in dirt at that time. And he is being held on a $25,000 cash bail for the assault incident in Pottsville.
Yeah. He should get kicked in the midsection there if he did it. But he was heard when he was smoking a cig and drinking the sweet tea. As Herb always liked to say, I can't wait to go see my friends at Lavoie's.
Hello again, everybody.
Crispy cold salad.
A cold, crisp tossed salad, and it was great.
Until it was a domestic violence case, I was going to do Herb saying his famous saying, but then it became domestic violence. I couldn't use that joke.
I think I got tough at that point.
Is that how he pulled out the old driver? Yeah. South Carolina high school staffer has been busted for repeatedly using fart spray, accused of hurting students' health and causing a staggering $55,000 in damage over the past month. I am going to say for this creepy-looking guy, this is Gateway.
Why does he?
Right?
Why do we even have this? Why do we have fart spray?
It's for pranks. Someone at my school sprayed it in lockers one time.
How bad does it smell?
It is the worst smell I have ever smelled. It is that sort of sulfurous, rotten egg smell that doesn't leave.
You apparently weren't in the Superdome post-Katrina. I don't know if you guys have watched that documentary.
Well, that was actual real human excrement.
They talk about how bad the smell was.
I would imagine, yeah.
I haven't finished it yet. It's a very good point of view on the whole situation. Have you started that at all?
I have not. Maybe you should watch Lilith Fair.
No.
All the sad stuff.
Such great.
I would think that smell at Lilith Fair was probably worse.
I don't know.
Yeah, they don't shave their arms, don't shave their toes.
Man, that was one girl who didn't shave her arm at the Grammys that she won. And,
is this a mugshot of this old cat? Did he get arrested for this?
Yes, he caused $55,000 in damages.
Yeah, so this
to the AC's
is
system.
Florence High School teaching assistant Alexander Lewis, 32 years old, was arrested for using what cops call a, quote, internet-acquired spray designed to imitate fecal odor. Now, he bought it online, used it multiple times between August 25th and September 19th after students raised their own, just reading verbatim, stink about it.
Hey.
The school investigated or inspected gas and propane lines tested for air quality problems to no avail. But an inspection of the school's air conditioning system found damage that cost the district more than $55,000. Now, as well as damaging the AC, the prank left some students needing medical attention. One parent told local news affiliate, quote, "My son has asthma. It's been triggered multiple times because of this. Had to take him to the doctor 3 different times."
Yeah.
Officials did not reveal how exactly they, again, reading directly, sniffed out Lewis as a suspect. However, he was arrested on Friday last week, and he has been booked on a $9,000 bond.
What would Jimmy Johnson tell that kid with asthma?
Not on my field.
Ain't no asthma field's over there. Oh, Jimmy was a hard charger, man. He told that kid.
That was incredible.
Asthma field's over there.
Can you get away with that now?
No, even Jimmy said that. Like before, he was like, "Now you can't get away with the way I used to coach." And then they showed the video of him telling that guy the asthma field's over there.
A Missouri woman sentenced on Tuesday for scheming to defraud Elvis Presley's family.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We've got NFL weekend that starts off tonight with a really good game on what is a sleepy weekend in the NFL, but this is one of the better games. Seattle and Arizona, we'll talk about that. Maybe a handful of first ballot Hall of Famers on the new list is out. We'll get to that coming up in the show. All your college football, including getting ready for Bama's big game in Athens, Auburn's big game in College Station, as the two teams in our states playoff run to the playoffs maybe hangs in the balance this weekend with these two road games where they're underdogs. We'll talk about that coming up in the show. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. I feel like I have to start with baseball today, though. I really do. I really do.
You have to start with baseball.
I feel like
it's so funny you bring this up because Suttles was asking me yesterday at Bama and Bourbon. He was like, how much baseball are you watching? I was like, we talked about this on the show, not watching any. And after what Kyle Riley did again last night, like I can't imagine 20 years ago how engaged we would all be so engaged in this.
If you missed it by chance, let me do it before you jump into it. Cal Riley last night hit his 59th and 60th home run. He's the fourth person in AL history to get to 60 home runs. What is amazing, he's the fourth person to do that. He's the first non-Yankee ever to do that.
They've got a pretty good franchise.
If he hits 3 home runs in the final 4 games, he'll break the American League record that Aaron Judge owns. In the same night, Aaron Judge hits his 50th and 51st home run. He's the first Yankee to go back-to-back with 50 home run seasons since Babe Ruth in 1927 and 1928, and he's only the fourth person to have 4 50 home run seasons in his career, with Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and now Aaron Judge. But Judge has done it all before in his first 10 years in Major League Baseball. The other 3 took him longer to do that. Historic night last night, home runs.
You know, a couple of things. First on Judge, I brought up, a couple of months ago, maybe we overlook his accomplishments for some reason. And maybe we don't, though. Maybe we're just not in tune with baseball like a lot of people are. Like, do people consider Aaron Judge one of the greatest Yankees of all time? I mean, those numbers.
Not until we talked about this once earlier. Not until he wins
a championship.
Yeah, because it's like being a great football player at Alabama or Notre Dame.
But Kyle Riley is finally your MVP favorite, which probably should be where the Mariners are winning the West right now. But I don't know about you guys. Sports are such a statistical game. And the one number that always jumped out to me was Roger Maris in 61.
Yep.
I mean, growing up, that was the one that I thought was unbreakable. And anytime anybody even sniffed it, I was all in.
It felt like, as a kid growing up, every 2 or 3 years, you would have somebody in the second half of the season that got in the 50s in home runs. Yeah. And all of a sudden, could this be the one? Could this be? And then finally, McGwire and Sosa chased it down and passed it and all that. But to Lance's point, if you had a player at 60 home runs with, what do they have, 4 games or 3 games to go?
4 to go for Cal Riley.
Yeah, for Cal Riley. 4 games to go. This would have stopped time when I was a kid because nobody ever reached that record. And now it kind of flies under the radar. I also do want to point out, and I'm fine with him. I really don't care one way or the other who is the MVP, but isn't this guy hitting like 240?
Who, Cal Riley?
Yeah, 248.
I'm looking at it right here. But he's still,
I know, 60 home runs.
He's still a catcher, though.
I know, he's at 240. It does feel weird, does it not, to give the MVP to a guy that's batting below 250? I mean, that is kind of a weird feeling.
It does, and I personally don't think he'll win it. I still think it'll be Aaron Judge, but.
Well, but I mean,
the odd shift has been dramatic over the last couple of weeks. He would be the third Mariner to win the MVP. I think you guys can probably
A-Rod
tell
and
us.
Ken Griffey Jr.?
Ken Griffey Jr. is one.
A-Rod is not the other one?
It's not A-Rod, so it's Randy Johnson?
Nope.
Jay Buhner.
Can't believe you guys are forgetting about this guy.
I can't.
Ichiro in 2001.
Ichiro.
Yeah, so the old slap hitter.
That was another one of those quietly just incredible careers.
Yeah. Listen, we won't talk baseball long, but 2 more things because last night was historic again. Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh, who's horrible, made his last.
Skeens, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, made his last start. 32 starts this year. 216 strikeouts. Oh, he finishes the year with a 1.97 ERA. The first person to do that since Doc Gooden in 1985.
Gooden was on a bunch of blow.
Yeah, he does. Doc does not
At
remember.
19 years old.
Yeah, Doc does not remember that. But
Steens is 23.
yeah.
I'm going to stick by it, man. I think this guy has an opportunity to be the best we've ever seen. I really believe that. Now, he needs to get out of Pittsburgh, which we know he will.
Well, I mean, I was going to say those kinds of numbers if he were I don't know, give me a team who's a contender. I mean, if he was with one of these teams, the Dodgers or somebody like that, he'd be in the MVP discussion, would he not? Yeah. With those kind of numbers. Not just Cy Young, but MVP.
I mean, for him to win 10 games with that shitty squad shows you how dominant he's been.
I know.
And to be 1.97 to still go out there and be like, okay, I'm still gonna strike these guys out.
So I know it ain't doing me any good.
Yeah. We lose a lot of games. Apparently, these guys can occasionally catch if I do let them get it in play. Kyle Schwarber hit his 55th and 56th home run last night. It feels locked up locked up the home field advantage through the National League. And then there's the Cleveland-Detroit series. This is it for baseball. We'll move on, but Cleveland won last night. They're now officially one game in first place.
It's crazy.
That's remarkable.
Detroit had a 10-game lead earlier this month in this division. They've gone 5-15 over their last 20 games, and they may now miss the playoffs. They're with this weekend of games left, they could lose the last wild card
They
spot.
could, and I don't want to scoff at it because they've been playing so bad, but they still have an 80% chance,
Yes,
according to the probability of making the postseason. And the interesting thing in the AL Central is run differential. I don't know how important it is, but it is a pretty good gauge on how a season is going. And you look at run differential right now, Cleveland is actually -2 runs over the season, and they're 14 games over 500. Detroit, a game behind them, +66 in run differential.
So they're -2 and they're going to win their division.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, September has been a nightmare
For Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as bad a collapse as we've ever seen, maybe, right?
Yeah, and to put it in perspective, because Suttles was also asking me, how good are the Dodgers this year? And I was like, they're good, but third best record in the National League.
I remember the discussion before the season how the Dodgers had ruined baseball and they paid all this money and it was going to be the Dodgers and who was going to play them in the World Series, and they're not even going to be the number one seed in the tournament.
That's the Brewers, right?
And for
the NL?
As of 2
Phillies,
weeks
I think.
ago, for the
Phillies?
first time this season, they weren't your favorites to win the World Series. But Philly +131 in run differential, the Cubs +130, and Milwaukee +175 in run differential. And the Dodgers sitting at +126, still in a great spot. I said it yesterday, man. I really think this postseason is going to be fantastic.
This is when I love it, man.
This is when I will jump on the bandwagon.
I know. Next week, when you got that daytime midweek baseball, that is so much fun to watch.
All that going on in baseball as the regular season wraps up. We're football crazy. We'll jump into that after we tell you about a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at Central State Bank. Brownie, tell us about those great folks right there.
Yeah, the one thing we like to say about Central State Bank, they are big enough to serve you and all of your needs, yet they are small enough to know you. They actually get you at Central State Bank. More than accounts and transactions, they're about people. 6 locations across central Alabama, Shelby County. They are loaded up there. They've also got one in Alexander City, right where you need them. When you're running a business, when you're buying your dream car, when you just want a bank that remembers your name, you're covered at Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
We ran into our buddy Brett from New Mexico. Actually showed up last night at Odie's Team Trivia, and he was telling me about Company Distilling, how his boss is a big bourbon connoisseur, and he suggested pick up a bottle of Company Distilling if you've never had it. His boss, of course, had never had it before. Absolutely loves it. Big news, Alabama Company Distilling now available in ABC stores across the state. If you've been waiting to try a whiskey as good as the company you keep, this is your moment. Not only Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Missouri, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas. If you can't find it at your local store, if it's not on the shelf, tell them to order it. For more details, visit CompanyDistilling.com/Alabama. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly from our friends at Company Distilling.
Listen, I know if you're an Auburn fan and you could have, if you pick a position room that you could withstand an injury, wide receiver room would probably be that one.
Yeah, depending on which wide receiver it is. But yes, the depth would help you there.
Horatio Fields being out now, broken foot in practice and out for an extended period of time. He is a guy, though, that had become sort of a, I don't want to say possession receiver, but sort of a security blanket for Jackson Arnold earlier in the year, a big contributor. He's out. questionable on the injury report. Connor Lew, the All-American center, who left for a portion of that game against Oklahoma, and I don't know if that had anything to do with any of the pressure or anything, but that guy is important. He's questionable. We'll see if he progresses and gets to play Saturday at Texas A&M, tough road environment against a tough Mike Elko defense. But those are two guys. Lew probably the one that you really need the most coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't see how porous I think it's a combination of two things, but you guys would give me, going back to the Baylor game, we thought Auburn's offensive line probably improved.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they ran the ball pretty much at will in that game.
And then in Norman, giving up the 10 sacks, I mean, Jackson Arnold was running for his life, and you just wonder, is the Oklahoma defensive front that good, which I think it probably is? But you're going to be going against some other pretty good defensive fronts this year. So I wonder how intact and how good this offensive line actually is.
Well, when it's the center, too, communication becomes a really big issue. That's the guy that's got to be the quarterback of the offensive line. And when you're in Norman, Oklahoma, was that an issue? I mean, I can't rule out – I haven't seen Hugh Freeze specifically say it was, but when you give up 10 sacks and Freeze has come back and said 5 of those I pinned on the offensive line, 5 I pinned on Jackson holding the ball too long – if you give up 5 sacks in your offensive front, you got to think communication played a role in that in a loud environment. Well, guess what? You're off to another loud environment.
Now turn it up another notch.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, even more people there, very loud, and not necessarily historically a difficult place to play. Opponents have done okay in there. But one thing that can make it a difficult place to play is if it's loud enough and an inexperienced center doesn't get the right calls out and get the right matchups there, and you end up giving up 5 sacks again.
Am I right in saying this so far? Something's just a beat off with Texas A&M's defense so far. It's not it did not look like your typical Mike Elko defense at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame, yeah, I would give you that.
Well, I mean, I think Utah State even scored like mid-20s on them.
They did. I've said it a couple times. I can't remember. I don't think it was a stock down, but the one thing that I've wondered about this A&M team is their defense. I mean, people have scored on them. I mean, if you look at their scoring defense, Lance, they are dead last in the SEC,
which is pretty crazy.
28.7.
You see some of these coaches, and we've talked about defensive coaches taking over programs, and the defense kind of goes in the shitter. I think A&M fans would rather have this, though, the exciting offense.
Makes them feel like Johnny Manziel again.
Yeah, as long as you're winning games.
Yeah,
now
you got to win. Yeah,
and when does it become a problem? Yeah, when you start losing games. Now the good news is, you look moving forward, they don't see any dynamic offenses until they play Arkansas.
I mean, Jim, I don't know. You hate to just judge on score, right? Because there are a lot of factors that go into it in those games that we didn't watch, the Utah States of the world. Was there a turnover that set Utah State up for a touchdown? But when you put the whole picture together, they're dead last in scoring defense. They give up 399 to UTSA. That's a lot of yards at home to Texas San Antonio. They gave up 554 to Utah State.
Yeah.
That's a lot of yards in a game you won 44-22.
Which is why Utah State was almost my upset alert this weekend playing Vandy.
Yeah.
Not to get Vandy Twitter on me.
554, 235 on the ground to Utah State.
Yeah.
235. I mean, that's alarming.
Back to your point, if they would have lost that Notre Dame game, if they don't score in that final possession, I think one of the narratives in the SEC is, Mike Elko, as good as he was to start year one, look at how this thing has fallen off and look at where his defense is. But because he's 3-0, and give him credit, they went in the portal and you get Concepcion and you get Craver, 2 explosive weapons, and you've already got Le'Veon Moss and Marcel Reed, although isn't throwing the football consistently enough right now with this Colin Klein offense. This is a dangerous team. Another one of these fascinating games, and I don't know if you guys have got a feel yet for Auburn and A&M.
No, it's. I mean, I leaned Auburn last week at Oklahoma. I think this Auburn team's better. I mean, it's a lot better than it was last year. I think it's a good team. It's just Oklahoma got them in a game I thought Auburn should have won, and I think A&M could do the same thing this weekend. I think it's a toss-up game. Here's Mike Elko, though. His defense, what we were just talking about, on his DBs now trying to match up with those great Auburn receivers. He's trying to come up with a scheme.
How would you kind of assess how Des Ricks and Will Lee have done this season, and how would you say they match up against Eric Singleton and Cam Coleman?
Oh God, I think it's been really good to see Des. I think he's taken some really positive steps forward. Obviously, Will's a very consistent player for us and a kid that we have a ton of confidence in. You've heard my story on matchups. I'd way rather be playing guys who weren't big, athletic, fast, and 10-2 in the 100 meters. And so this is a really, really talented wide receiver core. And so, we'll see how we do on Saturday. But there's a lot of other teams I would rather try to match up with on Saturday at wide receiver than this group.
So a lot of respect there. If you're an Auburn fan, it haunted you last year as you go into this game. And now it's reared its ugly head again. Special teams, that punt snap, and that was a big moment in the game. Here's Hugh Freeze on his special teams units that now for a second year is maybe costing them football games.
Well, Monday is about the truth, and without being, I'm a positive guy, and we're going to get better, but it's hard to not say that our special teams play in that game is probably the difference in the scoreboard, even with everything else that happened. And I love them all, and we're going to play the next play, but starting 3 possessions inside the 10-yard line against them and giving them the ball on the 20-yard line and, catching a punt that's going into the end zone and got an onside kick that I think is going to go 10 yards that they're just watching, and I think we're going to get, and we recovered at 9.5. I mean, missing a field goal. It's just it was not a good outing for us at all, and I promise you that has been addressed heavily, and it has to improve. And we have a dangerous return guy, but if we can't coach and execute properly to give us the ball at least at the 20 to 25-yard line, then we need to fair catch everything. Our offense is good enough, but it's no fun starting inside the 10 against teams like that. We overcame it a little bit, but there is no sugarcoating the special teams play of that game.
Wow. As my grandfather once said, a very popular saying, though, other than that, Mr. Lincoln, that was a play.
Yeah. But I mean, look, I think you can be this critical, especially when you're paying these guys now. And we were doing a show at one time where if you went to anyone and you're like, who has the most airtight special teams in the SEC, it was always the Auburn Tigers.
Oh.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
But Mal, I mean, to me, the biggest one, I was going back and just making sure.
The worst play of the game, I mean, the punts and snaps, that happens. But when you're catching over the shoulder on the 1-yard line.
That was the one I was about to bring up, Malcolm Simmons.
Oh, my gosh.
Because you're up. No, it's 3-3 at the time. You're 3-3. You've survived the early onslaught. The crowd settled in. It's not fever pitch anymore. You've gotten a defensive stop, and now all of a sudden you're starting the ball. Well, I think it was the 4.
Yeah.
I mean, because a receiver fields a punt that's going in the end zone. I mean, it's got to be a touchback.
Yeah. I mean, you had to make a hell of a catch just to catch it.
Just to get it out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're right. And
he caught it like this.
And imagine if he doesn't make that catch.
Oh, if it goes off his hands.
Yeah, I mean, look, in that situation, it is better to field the ball at the 4 or the 5 than to have them down at the 1 or the 2. But if your heels are on the 5 and that trajectory, that's going in the end zone.
I'm happy to do that.
I mean, that's part of the job. Going out there, you mentally play this in your head. Where am I going to field this? If it's over my head, I'm letting it go.
Everybody who is sitting on a couch watching that one that never played the game,
mistake.
They know the rule.
Yeah, blackout drunks on the couch. Yeah. Don't feel that.
Stand. I mean, punters are so good now. Probably you should say the 7.
Well,
stand on the 7, and if it's going over your head, don't catch it.
Yeah, they used to say heels on the 10, but to Lance's point, it has become such a refined job now that these punters are able to kill it inside the 5. And to Lance's point, I'd rather my guy fair catch it on the 7 than it
I
kill
watch
on the 1.
a lot of the NFL guys make sure, like, if you can get it, 5+, you want to field that punt.
That's right.
But going into the end zone, literally.
Over the shoulder
into the end zone, it's going to be a touchback.
Which, by the way, great catch by Malcolm Simmons.
Oh, heck yeah.
But most humans would have fumbled that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
That's what Lane said. That's even worse.
Yeah.
If it's off my fingertips and now it's rolling around in the end zone or on the 1 or 2.
Yeah, just those little things can cost you a game, and you can't have that this week on the road at Texas A&M. One Bama Georgia thought, and then one amazing stat to get to in this opening segment. Aaron Murray talks more Bama Georgia coming up in just a second. The show being brought to you by our friends at Twin Peaks. Tell us about Twin Peaks, LT.
Hey, that is a great place to go. Starting tonight, you've got a little NFC West action with Arizona hosting Seattle. Of course, NFL Sunday Ticket all Sunday long. Right there with our friends at Twin Peaks. Major League Baseball package as well. It's just a great place to sit back and enjoy those signature 29-degree draft beers served in 3D by those Twin Peaks girls running around for lunch or dinner. No one does happy hour like our friends at Twin Peaks. Whatever you want. They've got everything from the tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category, top shelf spirits and cocktails served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that great drink menu, second to none. And again, don't forget about the signature 29-degree drafts. Ours are only 40 in here today. Stop in one of those great locations today of Twin Peaks.
Just pull them out of the kegerator and they'll be fine. Just sitting in the studio.
Aaron Murray, as I said, coming up. Pants Store, by the way, if you're heading over to Athens, they've got a blackout, so you want to wear some white, some crimson, whatever you're doing over there. You know, if you're heading to Auburn, College Station, orange and blue, you get them all at the Pants Store. All the great locations all over the state of Alabama, Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Birmingham, online, pantstore.com. And guys, if you're looking for that Bama or Auburn polo or your hat or your quarter zip, you can get it right there with those name brands. Horn Legend, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Gentile. They got it all right there for the War Eagle or Roll Tide fan in your life as the holidays approach. It's a great holiday gift. And by the way, for the ladies, the white sneakers, the platforms, the fall boots, rain gear, by the way, rain gear. You get it all right there. Free alterations, free gift wrapping, all right there. Pantstore, pantstore.com. Speaking of rain gear, hey, Kirby Smart, remember 2015, the last time Alabama played between the hedges? Here's the Georgia coach.
Coach, you were on the sidelines the last time these two teams played in Athens. Can you just tell me what you remember from that matchup in 2015?
Derrick Henry, it was wet. The run broke out late on us, and the D-line tried to fight the linebackers on the sideline because they were pissed that we gave up over 100 yards rushing. And I always tell that story, that when you got D-linemen that are mad and willing to fight when you're up 15, 20, 30 points, whatever it was, you know you got a good team.
Yeah. The good old days.
Yeah. Derrick Henry and the defensive line got to fight on the sidelines because they gave up over 100 yards.
When we were up 20 or 30, whatever it was. And it rained. By the way, forecast.
I saw this.
Rain in the forecast.
Yeah. Suttles was telling me this yesterday. I'm surprised we hadn't talked about this all year. Did it come out of nowhere? Or all week?
The last I saw, I think it was maybe yesterday morning, I think Span was saying that the early models look like maybe rain all day leading up to the game.
That's right.
And then dry for the game.
Yeah. Rain and thunderstorms for the tailgating.
Yeah.
And then
dry for the game. It could still have a wet field, but maybe not playing in the actual rain.
Or if the models change, as they do when it's about 48 hours or 50 hours out.
Yeah.
Okay, sans a quarterback, if you could have one former Alabama player right now.
Derrick Henry always.
They're pretty good at that.
What do you think he would go for against any of these defenses?
Yeah.
220?
I mean, my gosh, he's rushing for 100-plus in the NFL on a pretty regular basis, it seems.
Derrick Henry always, and then probably I think Will Anderson deserved more than he got from Tuscaloosa. He never won a championship, did he? I mean, he was probably on the 2020 team.
Yeah.
I always put him right there with Bryce Young, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, Will Anderson deserved better as far as trophy case in Tuscaloosa.
Well, if it's rainy, whatever you did against Michigan, do the opposite.
Yeah.
It
rained against Florida State.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, whatever you did against Florida State, do the opposite. Yeah.
Probably rained at Oklahoma and Vandy, too. Hell. We'll talk DeBoer numbers in the rain later on. Okay, one more stat here. In the offseason, we give you all these rankings. One of them is best portal classes. Remember when we talked about who had the best portal classes? If I asked you the top 7 portal classes, Brown knows the answer already, what do you think their record is right now?
Give him the amount of games.
Out of 27 games is the total.
Top 7.
I would say 25-2.
They are 27-0.
Okay.
So you're telling me the portal's important?
Yeah, I think
I've got the rankings here.
Okay, I was going to say Texas Tech has got to be on this.
Number 2 on the list.
I would say Miami's got to be on this list.
Number 3 on the list.
I would say LSU.
Yeah, they were number one.
Okay.
Yep.
Is Indiana on this list?
They are not.
Okay, I'll tap out there.
Yeah.
Ole Miss has got to be on this list.
Ole Miss is number 4. So LSU,
4.
Texas Tech, Miami, Ole Miss. Number 5 is Oregon. And a couple of darlings. Number 6, why I kept saying there was going to be a tough game in Tallahassee. Florida State, number 6. And Missouri is number 7.
Okay, look, this is one of those. If you're trying to raise money for the collective, if you're trying to get NIL done. I mean, this the proof is in the pudding. I don't think I've ever said that before.
Yeah. Show them the stat before it changes. LSU and Ole Miss play, so you have a loss on there. But show them why it's undefeated.
Look, I mean, I think they're in that list that you just talk about. I think there's a little longevity there. I don't.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, so go back.
Okay, LSU, Texas Tech, Miami, Ole Miss, Oregon, Florida State, Missouri.
They're all 10-win teams.
That's what I was going to say. They're all 10-win teams, borderline playoffs. That's going to be some playoff and bubble teams.
Yeah,
it is.
Right there.
Caleb in the chat room, you know who you won't see on that list? Clemson.
Clemson's not on that list.
Yeah. That's odd.
Yeah.
What are they? They're not undefeated, though, right? Clemson?
They are not. They are not.
Another old saying, who is a coach that has cut off their nose to spite their face before? What the hell is going on with me today?
How old are you all of a sudden?
I mean, Auburn is, I think they were in the top 10, so they're just off the beaten path here now. And, Oklahoma, I think, was just off the beaten path here, though they're still unbeaten, so probably not in the top 10, because you cut this off at 7 to make it a smooth 27.
Sure. You got to keep
it. Whoever that number 8 team is lost.
Was Texas A&M on there?
No.
They were not on. I only saw the top 7. Yeah, that stat from Reddit College Football this morning. All right. When we come back, Aaron Murray. We go inside the Alabama-Georgia game, brought to you by our friends at NASCAR and Talladega Super Speedway. Hey, halfway between Athens and Tuscaloosa, you get Talladega.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah,
I'm just doing geography.
I'm not going to look at the map, but you're close. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com is where you go to reserve your spot for the Yellowwood 500 weekend experience. Or you can call 877-GO-TO-DEGA if you want to do it by phone. You can reserve your spot in the grandstands, in the infield, in the camping area, and reserve a spot with that enhanced garage experience presented by Coolray, the best in NASCAR. It is all coming up in just a couple of weeks. It starts the 17th on that Friday, goes all the way through Sunday the 19th, culminating with the Yellowwood 500 in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs. Reserve your spot today. Tickets available at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Aaron Murray talks Bama, Georgia, and all of college football next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I can't think of 2 schools that are better representatives for the Coca-Cola brand than Alabama at Georgia. This would be the Coca-Cola rivalry if this was in the Big Ten.
Hey, over the last 2 years, the first and third best records in the FBS.
Oh, how about that? Hey, Bama fans, as I finish the commercial here, enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke Zero Sugar, because fan work is thirsty work.
All right, Aaron Murray played quarterback at Georgia. You see him now on ESPN and the SEC Network here on Sirius XM. He's with us on the Alexander Shinora Trial Attorneys Hotline. What is up, Aaron? How are you?
Doing good, man. Just excited. A couple days out from a electric weekend of college football. I'll be going to Stillwater, so I've been dealing with that mess all week with the coaches. So talk with their staff this afternoon. So it's been a whirlwind of a week, but looking forward to a great weekend.
Yeah, Houston, Oregon State. That is a Friday night game. No, wait a minute. No, that's not Stillwater.
No.
Oklahoma State, Ryan.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. I called Oregon State on our schedule here. Oklahoma State. It's nothing like getting the coach, the game, and the coach has been fired on.
Baylor, 2:30. ESPN 2.
Plenty of points in that one, I would imagine. Plenty of points in that one, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk Alabama and Georgia. We were discussing this yesterday. You approached the game from the quarterback point of view. Obviously, you played the position. When you look at what Ty Simpson has done, and then Gunnar Stockton, what he did in one game, against Tennessee, do you give a quarterback edge at all to either one of these teams?
No, I think for both teams, they should feel really good about the way both their quarterbacks are playing. And, I think Ty has probably had, they're different. I mean, Ty is more the thrower of the two. He's a pure passer, drop back, throw the ball, can kind of hit all the 3 levels. Where I think Gunnar has the ability to push the ball vertically down the field. I have seen him struggle at times to kind of get through his progressions, especially versus zone coverage. He's been a little bit fast with his feet. And I think at times it's part to do with the offensive line and through the first 2 games, at least, their inability to really protect Gunnar consistently. So I think he kind of was rushing through his progressions. But, when it comes to arm strength, ability to push the ball vertically down the field, obviously both of them are great athletes. I think they're playing at a high level right now. And I think they got playmakers around him. I think that's the biggest thing for those guys is, hey, I have playmakers that I can throw the ball, the RPO game. I can throw over the middle of the field. I can take some shots. And I don't have to be perfect. Those guys are going to get yards after the catch, which makes my life a little bit easier from a quarterback perspective. So I don't know if I would switch them. I don't know if I would take one or the other. They are a little bit different in their skill sets. And both of them are going to have to come out there and play big time games against, I know we all think like, struggling defenses, and, Alabama's defense has not been as good as we thought. And same thing with Georgia and probably their secondary. But these are still a lot of 4 and 5 star guys on that side of the football. You have to play on a high level, especially coming off a bye week.
Just from the mindset, when Georgia goes in Knoxville and early on they let him throw the deep ball. They trusted him to throw the deep ball, and then he made that great throw that saved the game and just dropped it in the bucket. What does that do for a young quarterback and for a team and an offensive coordinator's belief in a quarterback?
I think it goes a long way. And I said it during the game last week when, Bubba got a little conservative, but, you kind of have to remind yourself that this is this kid's first time starting on the road in this kind of environment. He still hasn't played a lot of football, that you don't want to put a lot on his plate. But I do think every single week, and this is me obviously being with Bobo for 4 years, I remember, my first game against South Carolina, and very limited was put on my plate, but then I had a good game. We lost, but I had a good game. And I felt like from there on, I got more and more responsibility, more ability to check plays at the line of scrimmage, obviously more opportunities to throw the football. So I do believe he's earned the respect of Mike Bobo and the trust of him. His teammates obviously love him. You saw that from a year ago when he became the starting quarterback in the game versus Texas, and then obviously in the playoff game against Notre Dame. So guys in that locker room believe in him and what he can do from a leadership standpoint. But it definitely helps when you put it on tape. You put it on tape on the road, and you put it on tape in the fourth quarter the way he did. So I still, like I said, like from a quarterback perspective, especially young quarterbacks that haven't played a lot of football, throwing to the outside is easy because you can see it. Throwing a go ball or an inside fade to London is easy. I'm not saying like those were like, I'm not taking away the credit of the throw. Like those were incredible throws in crunch time. But where I want to see Gunnar elevate his game and where I want to see Bobo put more on his plate is being able to throw the ball over the middle of the field. And that takes a long time for a lot of quarterbacks to feel confident doing it. There's a lot of moving bodies. There's linebackers. There's safeties coming down. There's offensive linemen in your face, defensive linemen in your face. So it's a little bit harder to trust throwing in that area, but there's a lot of open space. And that's where you can get a lot of bang for your buck, as well. So, hopefully he continues to mature in his game and start to really open up the entire football field.
Aaron, there's not a fan base that has a higher approval rating than Georgia for Kirby Smart, as well they should. But it is strange that Kirby Smart is 107-13 against anyone not named Bama, and he's 1-6 versus Alabama. I know Georgia absolutely hates Alabama because of these numbers. They've lost 9 of their last 10. Dunaway did bring up a couple of days ago, and it was an interesting point that Kirby's never hosted Alabama in Athens. A lot of those games in Atlanta for the SEC championship, and we have seen multiple national championship matchups. But, I mean, how do you figure this thing out? And like, have you heard, like, a deeper dive? I mean, I don't know if there's, if this really is in Kirby's head.
Well, let's also remember that only one of those games was against Nick Saban, the greatest coach of all time. So, like, let's not forget that you're going against Alabama and what Saban had built for more than a decade. When Kirby started facing them as the head coach of Georgia, and he obviously had a head start, and he's Nick Saban. So it's kind of like the whole James Franklin thing. At Penn State, they beat who they're supposed to beat, and then they face Ohio State, who has better talent. And I would say a better coach, and same with Michigan, and they lose those games. And I think Kirby Smart obviously was 1A, 1B with Nick Saban over the past couple of years when Nick Saban was on his way out at Alabama. But still, Nick had built that program for 15 years, a little bit different. So I think Kirby, obviously the big one last year against Kalen DeBoer there in Tuscaloosa. This is his opportunity. You have everything stacked in your advantage. It's two very equal programs in the same kind of spot when it comes to talent. You're at home. It's a night game. It's gonna be raucous. You don't lose in Athens. But I will say this from a coaching perspective and from a player perspective, because I keep hearing, all these players some of these players have never faced Alabama, or they've only faced them once. Like they weren't a part of the teams that are 1-6 against Alabama. And like, I get that. But at the end of the day, you're still hearing it all week. So as a player, when it gets into the third and fourth quarter and say it's a close game where Alabama's up or Alabama gets some momentum, that is going to creep into your mind like, oh my gosh, here it's going to happen again. And when you have any sort of doubt in a big time game against a really good team, that's when that team pounces. So I think Georgia's got to find a way to kind of get the momentum early, keep the momentum, and really just not let Alabama breathe. And that's what Alabama was for so long. I remember even when we played them back in 12, like you never got comfortable. And then when Alabama started to get momentum, everyone on the sidelines started saying like, oh God. Like we were up 10 points. We just blocked a field goal. Alec Ogletree returns it for a touchdown. We're all thinking like, oh my goodness, we're going to the national championship. Alabama scores 4 plays later and everyone's butt on the sideline got super tight. Like, uh-oh, here we go again. So it's going to be interesting, but I think a lot of advantages should be in Georgia's favor as we head into this matchup Saturday night.
I was covering that game, and when y'all blocked the field goal, and I said, "Gosh, that's going to do it right there."
I too thought it was over.
You don't get a blocked field goal for a touchdown and lose a game. Yeah.
So for you, what was the more painful in-state loss? Was it the 2012 SEC championship game, or was it 2013 the prayer at Jordan-Hare against Auburn?
Ouch.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I mean, it has to be 12 because you win that football game, we're probably going to win the national championship. I mean, both obviously very painful. It stinks. I feel like I had a lot of really, really good wins in my career. But obviously the focus always when people talk to me is like, oh, the game versus Alabama, oh, the game versus Auburn. And I'm like, oh, you remember that game versus LSU?
Yeah, I won a lot of games.
Won and back and forth with Ned and Odell and all those guys. So I kind of have to weave in I did win a couple decent games.
You got a lot of bones on your helmet
those were
back
awesome
there.
Ones. It was great to be a part of them. Just wish we would have been on the other side. But definitely that Alabama one because sitting at home with the boys, watching them just destroy Notre Dame, and just know that hey man, we were built just like them. Great defense, a bunch of superstars on defense, great running game, very mature veteran quarterbacks with AJ and myself, some really good playmakers on the outside. I mean, it's why that's what made that game so good is each team was so identical, and it was going to come down to just a couple plays was going to determine who the winner was going to be. And obviously Alabama came out on top.
You were literally the Aflac trivia answer for the Georgia-Tennessee game. I mean, your name was in the Aflac trivia question. I mean, you don't get there by losing a bunch of games.
No. I know that was fun. At least, I've had a lot of success in the East. 3-1 versus Florida, 4-0 versus Tennessee. Did not have a lot of success for South Carolina. Excited to see that is going to be one of Georgia's 3 consistent rivalry games for the next few years. But yeah, listen, it was a fun ride, and going back just to this game, a lot of people talk about is Georgia-Alabama now a rivalry? Where is this for you? I get asked that a lot whenever these two teams play nowadays, and I'm still kind of on the fence for it. Like I wouldn't necessarily consider it a rivalry. I just don't know, especially going forward, how many times these two are going to play with the new SEC and the new teams and the expanded all that good stuff. But I think it's a great game. I think they're 2 incredible programs. But I consider Georgia, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Georgia Tech, maybe Georgia, Tennessee as well as kind of the big rivals. And I just consider this an awesome game against two amazing programs.
Georgia, one of only 2 SEC teams without a 50-plus yard play this year. I watched a lot of USC football. Zachariah Branch is an explosive guy. He didn't get enough touches for Lincoln Riley. He's only had 13 offensive touches so far for Georgia. Is there a plan to get him more involved? Because when you get that guy in space, he can do some incredible things.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help when some of those catches, I know only 13 catches, turn into like 50-yard touchdowns. I mean, he had a couple of them this year where you throw a screen out to the outside and he takes it. So you love those. If you're able to give me half your touches or explosive plays, I'll take that every day. But I agree, can you find a way to keep feeding in the football? But I think the dilemma this year for Georgia is the fact that they've done a good job. I mean, Kirby went out there and found a way to hit the portal and bring in some top talent over the past 2 years. I think he's obviously playing at a very high level. I think Colby Young, who obviously was on the roster last year but didn't really play because of some off-the-field issues, I've been really impressed by him, his physicality, using his size. And then I've been really impressed with London Humphreys. I think he's a guy, obviously, that you got from Vanderbilt a year ago, first year in the system last year, now more comfortable, really seeing him go out there and make some plays more consistently. You still got really, 2 very talented tight ends and Lawson and Oscar. And then you got other guys too that, I would love to see them get the ball more. A guy like Dylan Bell, who's kind of a Swiss Army knife. How do you get him touches? And then you have a really good stable of running backs as well with Frazier. I've been really happy with the way Phillips is running. And then obviously Gunner's going to play a big role in the run game. So, yeah, going back to your question, I would love to see, can you get Zachariah Branch the ball more in space? Hell, put him at running back at times too. But there's just a lot of really good, talented receivers and running backs for Georgia right now that the love is going to get spread out, which I think over the long haul is going to make this offense even more dangerous, not being able to pinpoint one guy that you can take out.
Aaron Murray is with us. You can see him coming up. Oregon State-Houston is going to be a tremendous game Friday night, but you won't see him there. You'll see him Baylor and Oklahoma State. That's the game you're going to see him on 2:30 ESPN too. I want to ask you a quarterbacking question. Jackson Arnold, there were 10 sacks last week against Oklahoma. Not great. I know as a quarterback that made you cringe right there. Hugh Freeze said by their count he probably pins 5 on the offensive line, 5 on Jackson Arnold holding the ball too long. At this point in a guy's career that's got that many starts, practically what can a coach do to speed that clock up for a quarterback so he does not hold the ball too long? Is that fixable, I guess, is my main question?
Yeah, I think the way you feel on Sunday, Monday is going to make you want to get the ball out after getting hit 10 times. I would say probably somewhere there. I would lean, and I hate blaming the big boys up front because it's a hell of a job to go in there against that defensive line and that defense. And they brought some stuff. I tell you what Venables was doing defensively and what he's done all year. Because I turn on a lot of tape and see some pretty vanilla defenses where I'm like, man, this feels like what I'm going against back in 2012 compared to what you've seen a lot of defenses do. Venables is super cutting edge with the pressures, with the fronts. Doing a lot of, getting into bare fronts to create a lot of one-on-one opportunities for his defensive line. So it was a tough task going against that defensive line and that environment there in Norman. But, I would still lean a little bit more to the offense line has to be better. I think part of that was just my expectations. Like I thought this offensive line, I still do believe that this offensive line can be one of the best in the SEC. We've seen them do that this year already, play at a high level. So I was just a little bit disappointed with their play against Oklahoma. So a little bit more needs to be done with that front. But from a Jackson Arnold standpoint, I think that you want to develop as a passer. I know he wants to develop as a passer. But right now, your legs are a big part of your game. And those are things that are going to take you and this team a long way. So I think that there needs to be a little bit of a faster clock in your head where, hey, you know what? Maybe if I don't like 1, 2, and 3, maybe I don't even get to 4 and I just take off and run. And I hate kind of saying that as someone that prided myself on being able to find the check down, but I was not as athletic as Jackson was. I can't run a 4.5 like he does. He needs to lean on the fact that he's a great athlete and understand too, the more you run, the more you're not even going to have to get to 3 and 4 because you're going to get one-on-one opportunities with your receivers down the field, and you just got to throw it up to Cam Coleman. So, like I said, offense line has to be better, but I think Jackson just got to lean into his running ability a little bit more as well too going forward.
Back to that 2012 SEC championship game, the guy on the other sideline, A.J. McCarron, I heard about this a couple of weeks ago. It's now been confirmed by AL.com. He's considering a run for maybe lieutenant governor or U.S. Senate. How close are you to running for political office?
No chance. Hey, good luck to AJ, man. I've heard rumblings that what's his name, Pearl may be running against him, I guess, if he's going to run for some kind of office now that he's not coaching at Auburn. But I guess it's a thing nowadays. If you're a coach or player in the state, you have a chance to go run for some office. But no, listen, I love calling college football and don't want to deal with the mess of politics.
Yeah, very smart, very smart.
That's the best avoiding of a pass rush you've ever done, right there, my man.
Yes.
Yeah, don't get sacked in politics.
2:30.
Listen, I've seen in this state alone with Herschel, just like people that love Herschel that now hate Herschel. It's just like I don't want to go that route.
Good call.
2:30 ESPN2 is where you will see Aaron for that Baylor Oklahoma State game. Should be a lot of fireworks offensively there. Aaron, thank you very much for the time. Great insight, and we really do appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games.
All right, buddy. You too. Aaron Murray at Aaron Murray 11 is where you can catch him on social media. He was with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
Before Brown tells us about Bojangles and we do the tender moment of the day, Lance, tell us how everyone can sign up for Week 5 plays at lanceslock.com and our friends at Hemphill.
Yeah, jump on board, win with us. We have got the side tonight in the NFL with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. We will have more college football up and available tomorrow night, Major League Baseball. We are winning right now. Jump on, win with us. You can get daily packages, weekly packages, monthly packages, all available in lanceslock.com. Brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trust since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, cooling issues. Any of these arise in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
All right, tender moment from Bojangles, and it's the tender moment because you can enjoy their great hand-breaded chicken tenders at Bojangles right now for lunch or for dinner or for that high school football tailgate tonight or tomorrow night, or that college football tailgate on Saturday, or that college football watch party at your house on Saturday. Let Bojangles do the catering for you, and everyone will be thrilled with the food, whether your team wins or loses. You'll know the food is a winner there with Bojangles. Those hand-breaded chicken tenders, the great 7 sauces from sweet to heat, everything in between that goes with them. You can get those right now at your local Bojangles and make this football weekend bow time.
All right. 2 tender moments. First one without any video or picture support. From the New Heights, the Kelsey podcast, Deion Sanders on last night. On his birth certificate.
Did they let him talk?
Yeah, they did. The birth certificate, Deion Sanders, Deion is spelled D-I-O-N. So they asked him, why did your parents change the spelling of the name? My parents didn't, says Deion, but you guys have great researchers. It is D-I-O-N on my birth certificate. And he told the story of how he changed the spelling of his name from D-I-O-N to D-E-I-O-N, and you know why and how he did it.
I would say that the E is for extra money. I don't know.
When he was
expensive.
When he was in elementary school, Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O,
right.
D-E-I-O-N. He said because of the song Old MacDonald, that's how he changed his name to Deion.
All right.
The New Heights podcast.
Do you think they still sing that song?
I don't know. E-I-O-N, Deion. And then I've had this picture saved. And you guys don't always watch all of game day. Did you see the end, the McAfee dive off the platform?
I did, yes.
10 meters, I think it is. His plan, and Forrester has a picture of the time lapse of the dive. You see the dive there. His plan was, they came up with the plan during the show of him to put a Miami dive team Speedo on, and that's how he was going to unveil his pick, was he was going to drop his trousers and have the big Miami Hurricane logo Speedo on that the official Miami divers use in that pool for the dive.
It's a little dicey, man.
Yeah,
if you don't know the timing.
I'm coming with the whole story here. So they came out and they said, Pat, the largest diver we have on our team here is a 30 waist. And he says, bro, I hadn't been a 30 waist since 8th grade. So they ran around, and finally the closest Speedo they could get at a local store in time for the final hour was a 34. McAfee says I'm a 37. But I want to do the bit.
He's a 37?
That's a tight Speedo.
So he throws the 34 on under his pants and a porta-john, wears it the final hour, and then if you watched it, he does this long run with a Steadicam, and he said, I can feel it as I'm running that it has fallen out. And now I've climbed up the ladder and I'm about to drop trowel, and he's a GIF all over social media, because if you're watching live, he has to run it down, snake it back into the Speedo, do a little peekaboo to make sure everything is good to drop the trowel, and then he dives in. It was a classic moment there, all spur of the moment of him trying to live up to the bit. I guess guys who are 37s don't usually choose the Speedos.
No. Yeah, look, and I think these divers are all small. I saw, and I don't know if you knew this, Jeeves, Jason Statham used to be an international diver for like British's travel team.
Yeah.
You know, the action star Jason Statham.
Right.
And then I saw some video on it, and I was like, holy hell, I can't believe this guy could do what he could do back in the day. But I think those guys tend to be a little bit smaller. My fear would be if you tried to unveil it on your way down, like if you don't land the right way.
Oh, go.
Yeah, you break your tailbone, blow your balls up.
Yeah.
I mean,
They absolutely, and you could tell his form if Forrester puts it back up there again.
Did the pencil.
They said you got to keep your feet together. Just simply do the pencil. Jess, the female reporter,
Jess
did
Sims,
did it earlier in the show, and she went straight pencil as well. And you could tell it was the concentration was there. It's a pretty high dive. I couldn't do it.
I just can't believe he didn't do the triple Lindy like Dangerfield did in Back to School.
Well, truthfully, as he was preparing to jump off, I thought he was going to try to flip, and I thought that was going to be a disaster.
Boy, you landed
I
her
would
back.
love to have seen that.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, it was a fun show. Loved watching them all sweat down there. They're at Penn State this week in Oregon. Penn State, more on that game. And Bama, Georgia, Auburn, A&M as we move throughout the day. But it's time now for our viewing menu, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. This is the number you need to call. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round, Cynthia, Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
There are a couple of movies that I've been meaning to watch for a long time, and I really should have gotten to it before today, and that is Punch Drunk Love with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Adam Sandler, available for rental on Amazon. And
Good movie, I think.
I never saw it, and I'm a Paul Thomas Anderson guy. Just the Sandler element killed me.
And the other movie is Boogie Nights with Mark Wahlberg.
Good
Fantastic.
movie. Yeah, good movie.
Never seen either one of them, and I need to watch one of them because the potential biggest movie of the year comes out today from Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. Real quick, though, Boogie Nights not even close.
Better than Punch Drunk Love?
I mean,
I haven't seen that one.
I'm just going to guarantee it.
Just because Adam Sandler did it.
But even I would agree with that. Yeah. Speaking of trying to squeeze a 34 into a 30.
Yeah. It was, I mean, basically it's loosely based, as creative as Paul Thomas Anderson is. He basically takes the Wonderland murders of John Holmes and spins it into more of a comedy / drama. But it's an ensemble cast that is, Burt Reynolds is great in it. Was nominated for an Academy Award, but you need to watch that. Probably Wahlberg's best work outside of The Departed.
Mark Wahlberg's best work outside of The Departed, pretty low bar.
Fair enough, but he is good in this, and I think that's it.
Well, One Battle After Another, I've already got my ticket for tonight, and it looks really interesting. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a washed-up revolutionary who lives in a state of stoned paranoia, surviving off the grid with his spirited and self-reliant daughter, Willa. When his evil nemesis resurfaces and Willa goes missing, the former radical scrambles to find her as both father and daughter battle the consequences of their past. And it also has Benicio del Toro and Sean Penn.
Sean Penn is the military evil guy here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's based loosely on a fictional book, Vineland.
I think so, yeah.
I think Paul Thomas Anderson always wanted to buy the rights to that and do it, but I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
He does great work. Be prepared. I'm going to assume it's a long movie.
I believe it's about 2.5 hours, and I've heard buzz about it being the best movie of the year, so I'm looking forward to that.
Should be exciting.
And then if you want to go see the, what could be the worst movie of the year, The Strangers Chapter 2 comes out today, and this is a new sort of franchise of the Strangers IP, which is about home invasions. And a fan actually bought the rights to the franchise a few years back, and they've been planning out a trilogy. Strangers Chapter 1 came out last year, and it was one of the worst movies I saw last year, and this is the sequel to it.
One of the worst I saw, and I'm going to go see the sequel.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see how it plays out.
It's what he does for a living.
I know, it kills me.
And that's all I got today.
That's what Tyler is watching. When we come back, is the personality of James Franklin and the personality of Dan Lanning making Oregon at Penn State an even must-see game this weekend? We will talk about that. More on the big games in our state and in the Southeastern Conference, including a change at quarterback for Ole Miss that has been decided upon. All that being brought to you today by our friends at Breakline.
BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com. Hey, you participate in the Pick 3, the Buffalo Wild Wings Pick 3 every Friday. We're going to start giving away some great prizes from Breakline Optics. Good news for you. All the more reason to go to nextroundlive.com and participate tomorrow. Hey, you can get these great-looking glasses and glasses like these at BreaklineOptics.com. TNR 30 right now saves you 30% off your order. Code TNR 30. Make sure you use that at BreaklineOptics.com to save 30% on these great-looking sunglasses. One thing that sets them apart is the durability. Cleve from Breakline Optics, as Scott is showing you in the video, brought some lenses up and said, you guys always talk about breaking these lenses. You cannot do it. We hammered them into the pavement with a mallet behind our building. Could not break them. So they stand behind their product just like that. You can see more at BreaklineOptics.com and find a pair that look great for you. Built by people that love to be outdoors and are in the elements and wanted to build sunglasses that withstand the elements and are durable and look great and fit great. They've done all of that at Breakline Optics. BreaklineOptics.com, code TNR30 to save 30% off your order at BreaklineOptics.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR playoffs weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. Nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at Nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with Nextround.store.
It's bow time. Tired Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Listen, I know I say a lot of dumb things on this show, and I'm about to say something, and I know he doesn't get credit for all of these, but the guys who were influenced at some point a little bit by Nick Saban, the quote-unquote part of Nick Saban coaching tree, doing pretty good this year.
Okay.
Mike Locksley, 4-0 at Maryland.
Yeah.
Sort of saved his job there so far.
He's doing it with a freshman quarterback, too, Malik Washington.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Signetti at Indiana, back-to-back years. I mean, he raves about what he did. Cristobal in Miami. Kirby, obviously.
Kiffin,
obviously. Lanning, obviously.
Billy Napier.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be
bad ones. Yes, I
yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Sark.
Obviously.
Yep. There was one other one. I've got it written down. I can't read Brent Key.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a good year for the Saban tree.
Yeah, it really
I mean,
has.
that's just. I mean, we're about to go to October next week, and those are some big time success stories, and he has a little end with all of those. My bookie with some of the betting lines for this weekend and an NFL game tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Code next round. You want the NFL betting line? I'll give it to you right now for the game tonight. Seattle, a 1.5-point road favorite at Arizona. That is the NFL game. Couple college football lines, the early games. Notre Dame, 4.5-point favorite as they play at Arkansas. USC, 6.5-point favorite as they play at Illinois. When you get to the middle of the day where the Auburn Tigers and the LSU Tigers and the Ole Miss Rebels are all playing, LSU, a 2-point road dog at Ole Miss. Ole Miss, a 2-point home favorite. Auburn, a 6.5-point road dog at Texas A&M. Ohio State, an 8-point road favorite at Washington. And in the prime time action, the Alabama Crimson Tide, a 3-point dog at Georgia, and Penn State, a 3.5-point favorite at home as they take on Oregon. You can play all those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round. When you sign up for your account at mybookie.ag, use code next round, and you will get that bet back bonus. Here's how that works. You make your first bet. They covered up to $500 in a bet back bonus. That means you lose $500, up to $500, right back into your account. You can play with it again right away. That's how they want to get you started at mybookie.ag. So it's as good a start as possible. You're not going to lose in that first bet at mybookie.ag. So you stay there for a while and keep having fun. Mybookie.ag. Code next round for that $500 bet back bonus. Code next round at mybookie.ag.
Forrester, what do you have for me, back row man?
Hey, so I update these MyBookie lines every day on the little ticker that you see at the bottom here. One thing I just noticed, the Kentucky-South Carolina game has gone down 2 points since yesterday.
Oh,
it's
boy.
now
Wow.
South Carolina minus 4.5.
Is that Lenore Sellers'
6.5
health?
yesterday.
Lenore Sellers' health, you think?
I don't know.
What else would it be?
What was the availability report last night? I did not look at that game.
I
Of
did
all
not.
the big games going on, I
Yeah.
skipped right past that.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, I got it right here, Brenny. Really quick. Dadgummit.
Thought you had it quick there, Jim.
I did, but why is only LSU showing up? Here they go. It now is loaded.
Okay.
Kentucky Lenore Sellers is
South Carolina. Their questionables
not on
are
there.
questionables are DQ Smith and Judge Collier, 2 defensive backs. Their doubtfuls are 2 offensive linemen, 2 defenders, and that's it.
Yeah,
this
it's probably
fight-
because Zach Calzada is questionable.
questionable.
That helps Kentucky's chances.
Their quarterback might be out.
It probably was just some heavy money on Kentucky.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's a big move, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
2.5 points
Oh,
overnight,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah, it is. Oregon, Penn State, if it's not Bama, Georgia, this is the biggest game in the country. I would make a case that Bama, Georgia is a bigger game because Not that Alabama's playoff hopes are done if they lose the game. Don't mishear me here or misedit me. But you lose the ability to lose another game. Alabama's got to go 8-0 if they lose this game this weekend, right?
Well, I believe one or two 9-3s will get in this year.
Okay, but
you don't want to be back in the same place you were last year.
You don't want to play against history.
Yeah, so you can still lose another game and control your own destiny. We'll use that phrase. But there is more on the line to me, Bama at Georgia, than there is Oregon Penn State. Loser of Oregon Penn State, I think it's going to be fine.
Don't tell that to James Franklin. I mean, 4-20 against top 10 teams, 1-17 against top 10 teams out of the Big Ten. You know, on the other side, Dan Lanning's 4-4. He's already won this matchup, so I don't think there's any pressure on him. There is a ton of pressure on James Franklin, but I would ask you guys more importantly, who's got more pressure in Athens? Is it Kirby, who was 1-6 against Alabama, or is it Kalen DeBoer if he was to drop to go to 2-2 and then have no room for error?
It's Kalen DeBoer. It's not even close.
Because then you keep doing the last. All right, so what is the stat?
They're 5-5 versus the FBS since beating Georgia last year.
All right, and that stays alive, and that continues.
You become 5-6 at that point.
Yeah, you continue to stack these bad trends on top of one another.
Yeah, but this is the only game I would say there is a little pressure on Kirby. Not that Kirby would ever lose his job. I'm just saying that there is something about, you know, if you're going to continue to win championships, you've got to beat the best of the best. And Alabama has been that other team that has kind of been the thorn in the side. Without Alabama, how many national championships does Kirby have?
Well, but that's history. I don't think the nation perceives Alabama as that roadblock to Kirby winning a national championship anymore.
You're probably right. I'm just saying if it was anybody but, I do think there is extra pressure on Kirby. There's pressure on James Franklin this weekend, and obviously Kalen DeBoer. If they were to fall to 2-2.
Here's what I would say. If I'm a Georgia fan and Alabama wins this game, I look at it and I'm like, man, we were super fortunate to get out of Knoxville with a win. We could easily be 0-2 in the conference right now, and we still got to go to Auburn, which is a place where we always get played tough. We've still got to host Ole Miss. They look pretty good right now. Florida ain't very good. We still got to go to State. That's one of the better state teams in a while. Texas still comes to our place. They probably will have Arch sorted out by then. And they got a great defense. And we got to play Georgia Tech. Now, it's in Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but it's one of the best Georgia Tech teams we've probably seen in 20 years. I mean, there's still some pitfalls in this schedule. And even though you're a one-loss team, you kind of – I'm not going to say they feel like a two-loss team, but every Georgia fan alive knows if a kicker makes a kick, you lose that game in Knoxville.
But we're just 17 days away from these type of headlines. USA Today, DeBoer tenure turning into disaster. I mean –
Oh, I saw the short odds for coaches being fired. This is laughable. But he was at like 16-1.
Yeah. Is that a Today headline?
USA Today 17 days ago.
Oh, 17 days ago. So after Florida State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe Rexrode.
Oh, there are people that I don't – I guess there's still people that don't realize Kalen DeBoer coached at Washington or coached at Fresno and coached at South Dakota State. These other programs or Sioux Falls.
You're thinking – rationally, and that's not the way the fans work anymore.
No, but I'm being serious.
We just saw Mike Gundy fired. He's the winningest coach in Oklahoma State.
You threw a little French flair in
there. Gundy. What are you going, Mike?
Yeah.
No, I really
Dabo
wonder.
Sweeney is on the hot seat at Clemson, and look what he has done for that program.
Do you think there are casual college football fans that if you asked them where did Kalen DeBoer come from, they would be like, I really don't know.
Yeah, casual football fans.
Because I mean, he is 6-1 against top tens.
Yeah,
he has been outstanding in these spots, and again, I think they win this game.
But because we have these. Yep. Nobody cares because now we can have 100,000 people get on here and say, man, we got to make a change. We got to make a change. And if it was up to the people that have the phones in their hands in a social media account, 2/3 of the world has a social media access. If we just listen to the masses, we would impeach the president every other day and we'd fire the football coach every Saturday.
Starts a backup quarterback?
We'd start the backup quarterbacks, and we'd have the umpires are coming, robots.
So which you touched on one of the numbers. He's 6-1 all time against top 10, right? But he's got one SEC road win. Now this is a short window, obviously.
Yeah, because he's played 4 SEC road games. This will be his fifth.
Yeah, so but they lost 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
I mean, lost at Vanderbilt, lost at Oklahoma to 2 inferior teams.
Good news for DeBoer is that was a rainy during the tailgate day that I was at. I'll be in Athens. It's expected to rain during the tailgate. I assume you're talking about on the road at LSU, right?
On the road at LSU was his only conference win. And, in fact, he's only got 2 road wins at Alabama. The other one, obviously, was at Wisconsin. So, on the road, when you factor in the Florida State loss, this guy does not have a good road record at Alabama. So which one of those stats – there's so many stats you could throw out in this game. You could throw out Kirby's performance against Alabama, which includes a loss to Kalen DeBoer, coached Alabama. You can throw out Kalen DeBoer against top 10 teams. Both those stats, Alabama fans will take all day. And then you're like, yeah, but the game's on the road in Athens. Okay, well, what do they do in Athens under DeBoer? Well, you don't want to look at that one.
And none of it really matters if the 3-3-5 Swarm cannot set an edge and stop the run.
Boy, they did last year in the first half. They did.
Okay, how many teams lose this week and they're 100% buried in the college football playoff? Notre Dame's 100% buried.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big topic. Just off the top of our head.
Let me look real quick.
As we do this, we need to do a couple of spots if we're going to do this. Show being brought to you by our friends at Inverness Country Club. Tell us about Inverness Country Club.
Brown and Bo got out there yesterday, hit it around a little bit. You said the greens are looking really good.
Really good. Nice and fast, too. Course in good shape.
If you're looking for that golf membership, if you're looking for a social membership, they've got memberships that fit everyone at Inverness. Find your sense of community out there. Maybe you relocated or retired. Inverness, great place to network. Childcare, also a big plus. You and your wife want to go hit the golf ball, you want to go play a little tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid right there on site. Knowing they're safe, massive plus. Whatever your interests are, you can find it at Inverness. Take a tour of this club today. Call Aaron 205-991-8608, or you can always go online at iccalabama.com.
And our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City there will help you, as he does with every family in our viewing and listening area. He will give you a free, no-cost roof inspection. So just find out what's going on your roof with no cost, no obligation. 205-542-3531, 542-3531. What you're going to find out with Greg, family man, good, trustworthy dude, got 10 kids, really cares about your family, your house, your home, and saving your money. So much so, works really good with insurance providers, helps you get the maximum out of your coverage. And if some reason your deductible gets out of whack for you, he's come across now some really good financing options for you as well to help you get through a new roof or storm repairs or something like that. Don't put it off. Get that free, no-cost, no-obligation roof inspection, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. 205-542-3531 or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Okay, back to what you were doing.
Yeah, look, Notre Dame is the only one
100%.
dead and buried. I think there are a list of teams that are close but not necessarily dead.
Let's put them in the realistically buried category. They're not dead and buried, but they're realistically buried.
Okay, Illinois.
Illinois.
I was just going to go with the morning
Illinois,
game.
100% Illinois.
If Illinois, after losing by 53, loses at home to USC, they're probably with 2 losses in September done. Would you guys give me that?
Yes, very, very realistically buried there.
Yeah. If Auburn loses this game.
2:30 ESPN, if Auburn loses, they're realistically buried. They've got 2 conference losses. They're 0-2 in conference. It's going to be impossible to crawl out of that hole.
The Big 12 we really can't touch, can we?
I mean, it's just so wide open.
It's a one-bid league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just your champion.
If Utah lost to West Virginia, which I do not see that happening, but if they did, I mean, to start 0-2 in the conference, Lance, would be tough to get out of that.
This is one nobody's talking about, and they're going to wear the orange on orange, but Tennessee and Starkville.
I was about to bring it up. That's 0-2.
Forster's got it as his upset alert there. But if Tennessee loses that game.
They're 0-2 in conference. I mean, again, anytime you start in a major conference 0-2, I'm willing to bury you. How many teams crawl out of an 0-2 conference start hole?
They don't. Not in the SEC.
To get in their conference championship.
And then I think Alabama's the other one on the list.
Yeah. Realistically buried, not dead and buried.
Yeah.
I mean, to have 2 losses for Jim, come on.
Well, I mean,
I'm just hearing you back. You guys
are we living
realistically buried, but not dead and buried?
I just said that. I said there's only one that's dead and buried, and that's Notre Dame. But, I mean, you will grant me now, Alabama would only be 0-1 in conference.
But here's what I would say. Going 8-0 in the final 2 months of the SEC schedule, I'm going to come up with new stuff all the time, is almost like going undefeated back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't think you can look at a team with 2 losses coming out of September and be like, I think that team's going to win 8 straight to close out the season.
Oh, I don't think you can either, but you can't say dead and buried, though, if there's still a chance for them to do that. And not to defend Auburn here, but Forrester, can you give me Auburn's schedule real quick? I mean,
they can't lose another one of these games if they lose.
You can't.
You're about to show me.
But you got Georgia and Alabama at home. and you would have lost to two pretty good teams on the road. So Missouri looks better, Arkansas looks better, Vandy looks better. I mean, they're all tough games, but I don't think you can say, 100% that I can't win. Can't win them all.
I wouldn't go 100%, but boy, I'd go a pretty high percentage.
Boy, I mean, based on Hugh and the lack of quality wins he's had in his tenure at Auburn, if he loses this game, I mean, I would be absolutely.
Now, give me Alabama's. So if Alabama loses to Georgia, they've only got one loss in the SEC. And if they win the rest of their games, they're going to be in Atlanta. And if you're in Atlanta, even if you lose that game, you're in.
Yeah, I mean, Alabama, that's the reason I said realistically, because they're still 0-1 in conference. And perhaps having played their most difficult game.
Well, that's the thing. Going into the season, if you would have said, hey, Alabama's going to lose one game for sure, which one is it? Everybody would have said September 27th in Athens.
That's right. And I think most people had Alabama 10-2. You can't say Alabama can't beat Vandy, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, Oklahoma, Eastern Illinois, and Auburn.
Yep. You can't say that, no, but I mean, again.
Right now, you'd say they're probably favored in all of those.
Oh, yeah, they are favored in all those. Here's the thing. As long as you lose a quality, one-possession game, I think Alabama fans are going to be upset, but I think realistically they would agree with you. You can run off the rest of that schedule. If Alabama loses this game going away, that's when the narrative changes and it becomes a big problem.
If they look outmatched, outmanned.
Yeah, if they lose by 14, 21.
Our NASCAR fast look at the biggest game in the country outside the SEC, Oregon and Penn State, brought to you by our friends at Talladega.
Yeah, 877-GO-TO-DEGA, TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. That's how you reserve your spot for the Yellowwood 500 weekend, October 17th, 18th, 19th over at Talladega Superspeedway. If you want to reserve your spot in the infield, a camping spot, in the grandstands, you can definitely do that right there at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. Add on that garage experience presented by Cool Ray, the most immersive in all of NASCAR. You can see everything at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
All right, Dan Lanning, you would say, he doesn't like coaches that run their mouths in news conferences, right?
Even though he does, yes.
Yeah, he's got a long history of making people pay. Some of you may forget that Ohio State was not in the Big Ten championship game last year. It was Dan Lanning, Oregon, beating James Franklin, Penn State. They play each other this weekend in Happy Valley, whiteout. Let me take you back to the post-game news conference after Oregon beat Penn State. The way the setup was at Lincoln Oil Field in Indianapolis, the press conference area was adjacent to, wait for it, the Oregon locker room, who happened to be celebrating while James Franklin and company were on the podium. And this is the way, if you remember, it sounded.
We can start right here in the front row.
How's this a smart setup?
Yeah.
This is for Drew.
Wait. We can hang tight for just a second. We'll try to get that audio turned down next door.
I got no issue with them celebrating, but this is kind of a JV setup.
Yeah.
I mean, look, Franklin can be annoying, but he's
right.
absolutely right.
Yeah,
about
he
that.
is.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big conference like that. It is a JV setup.
And how do you know somebody's going to lose and somebody's going to win, and there's got to be separation for the post-game pressure.
And to his credit, he said, I got no problem with them celebrating. They just beat us. But he was absolutely spot on about that one.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten all about
that.
God,
I know Penn State is the right way in this game. I know it. But, man,
why do you say that's the right way in this game?
It just is.
He never wins these games.
The reason why is that Penn State can run the football.
Penn State can run the football. I don't think Dante Moore, again, I think he's going to excel in this system under Will Stein, but he hasn't had to do it on the road. And,
In Oregon's receivers, who was on the show yesterday, all due respect to whoever was on the show yesterday.
It was Klatt when we were talking about Oregon receivers.
It was Klatt, right.
A couple of days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. They've got it. They got one good freshman, Malik Benson. Those guys are good. They're not elite. Can they do it on the road with Dante Moore? I'm with you on Oregon here. Here's Dan Lanning in that Big Ten championship game. They allowed almost not 200 yards rushing, almost 300 yards rushing to Penn State last year. Dan Lanning gets asked about that rolling into this game this weekend.
For as much as you and Tosh emphasize run defense all offseason, Dan,
How much was the title game last year and the 292 on the ground?
297, I think.
He remembers.
That's even better. How much was that a focus, short term, long term, because it was such a statistical outlier for what you've ever allowed?
Yeah, part of it became, was played a little bit based on the type of game it became and what we were willing to give up and what we weren't. But ultimately, that's not the standard. You got to play to the standard, and we played to the standard. And in several games last year, that was not a game that we played to the standard when it came to our rushing defense. And there's things we could have done better schematically, and then there's things that technically we can be a lot better at as well. So it's certainly been a focus for us. We've seen highlights of us playing really good defense at times, run defense this season. We've seen times when we haven't. So we got to make sure that we put our guys in great position to have success, and then do a good job against this rushing attack. You're not going to hold these guys to 0 yards rushing. They're really good, at back. So we have to be able to run the ball effectively on our side of the ball, and we have to be able to stop the run in this game.
And truthfully, 297 in that Big Ten game, and then their defense got waxed by Ohio State.
They did,
and they really haven't played anybody yet this year, right?
But they still won the game where they gave up 297.
They did.
And they scored 45 points. They've won 18 of their last 19. They've been dominant in the Big Ten.
But who have they beaten since they gave up 297 and won that game? Then they lose Ohio State, and now here's your next test again.
Yeah, look, I think the problem is the focus is going to be slowing down Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton, and all the pressure is going to be on Drew Aller. And Drew Aller, he is a 111th in QBR this season.
Wow.
Yeah, he just hasn't played well. Now, they haven't played anybody. He hadn't played deep into a lot of these games. Their defense has been absolutely fantastic. Again, not playing anybody. But their focus is going to be, Oregon's focus is going to be slowing down Penn State. They're going to try to let Drew Aller beat them, and we're going to know a lot about Drew Aller. A lot of people believe he's a first-round guy. We'll see.
I like doing this. Go back in August. Go back in July. And all I tell you is, hey, when Oregon and Penn State meet on that big college football Saturday, that fun Week 5 we're going to have, one of the two quarterbacks is going to be a Heisman favorite. Everybody says Drew Aller, right?
That's right.
Nobody says Dante Moore to that, do they, Lance?
Just because he's an Oregon quarterback in that system.
Yeah, but if I said only one, the way they talked about Aller coming into the season and Andy Kolenicki, the offensive coordinator, I think everybody would have gone Drew Aller there. It's crazy that it has flipped like that.
Tyler, if you will, hit the spotlight. Let's go find some good food on a football weekend somewhere. Hit it, buddy. It's brought to you by our friend Alexander Shinar. Brownie takes us to a local restaurant.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shinar Spotlight each day presented by our guy, Alexander Shinar, trial attorneys. When you are in need of a trial attorney, Alexander Shinar is your guy. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinar.com. Shinar.com is where you go. They have recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. Again, you pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinar.com. Shinara.com. LSU is on the road at Ole Miss. I don't know how much time you guys have spent in Oxford, Mississippi. I very much like Oxford,
Mississippi. I think I've spent 3 weekends over there. Not a ton of time, but I like it.
Yeah, there is good food in Oxford, Mississippi. I am going to give you 2 places that I have personally dined in that I very, very much enjoy, with a hat tip to Ajax Diner.
I will say
which
this.
is not one of them.
Everything seemed too crowded over there when I was over there. Is that fair? And maybe I just go to too big of the game.
Last time I was there, it was Double Decker Weekend, which is their big arts and music festival. Mississippi State was in town for a 3-game series in baseball, which is pretty big over there. And it was the Grove Bowl, which is their spring game.
Okay.
So,
I'm
it
just
was
saying,
crowded.
it seems like every restaurant, every bar that I've ever tried to go into on those weekends is insane.
You should do it on a basketball Wednesday night,
Yeah,
like
that
I
probably
did.
would work.
I had my choice of tables.
Ajax Diner, good meat and 3. I'm going to hat tip them. Good lunch spot, but we're going to go with 2 lunch/dinner spots. We will start with City Grocery in Oxford. That's one of the famous ones, City Grocery there. Really cool spot right there on the square. They are known for their shrimp and grits. That's one of their famous items, their shrimp and grits there. I don't know if you guys like shrimp and grits. Are y'all shrimp and grit fans?
With the Wednesday night basketball before Alabama went to, before Chris Beard got there, whoever the coach was, that's what I had pregame. I wouldn't suggest you eat that.
I was about
all
to say,
of it before pregame.
Oh
but
my God,
I
would. Yeah, I'd lose my innards on that. But back to shrimp and grits. I'm not a big shrimp guy, but like once every 2 or 3 years, I'll have that, and it's always really good.
The original girl cheese grits, spicy cheese grits, sautéed shrimp, garlic, mushroom scallions, white wine, lemon juice, and big bad bacon. right there in that bowl. It is fantastic.
It was delicious. A little too much to eat and then go out in public. So yes. Yeah. You want it to go? No, I'm going to finish it. Thank you.
Good lunch special there that they've got right now. The smoked turkey and apple bacon sandwich on grilled sourdough.
That looks really good.
Give me a little bit of that. And then for dessert, boys, you think you like this? How about a roasted peach shortbread? Now, when peaches are in season, roasted peach shortbread. It's fantastic.
Yep. I'm a big shortbread fan.
Yeah, really good spot right there. We don't have photos, but I'm going to shout out a couple of their appetizers I like there. The crab rangoon dip, very, very good. Comes with the wonton chips. And their beef cheek empanadas. Very, very, very good. I'm giving you a couple. Right around the corner from them is a great place known as St. Leo Italian joint. I'm going to give you a really good dish there. The squid ink tonarelli pasta, Gulf shrimp, Calabrian chili butter, garlic, onion, herbs, and bread crumbs in the squid ink tonarelli. That is really, really good. Now, you got to like dark pasta. Scott said he was not a fan.
Yeah,
Tyler said he'd give it a run.
Aesthetically, this thing just doesn't look appealing.
Oh, but it is
because I
so
just think
good.
about the ink. Isn't that like basically them shitting in the water?
I don't think about that when I eat it, Lance.
That's one way to think about it.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
think
but
about
back
it when
to
I eat it.
shrimp. If they're not deveined, do you want that shit vein on there?
I don't, Lance.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's two. No. But you can get that at St. Leo right around the corner. Excellent restaurants there in beautiful Oxford, Mississippi.
There you go.
Now
Good
that
pasta
looks
right there.
good.
Yeah.
Game day weekends, that's brought to you by Alexander Shannara. On Thursdays, we'll do our headlines before the games are played. Coming up tomorrow, Dr. B takes us to break here. Tyler's got our 4 downs on the other side.
Hey, Dr. Beckenstein, best in the business. Look, you have been ordering things online. They're not working for you. You've been looking in the mirror. You've been wanting to grow some of that hair back. You're starting to lose more and more. Stop wasting your money, your critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Find out what will work for you. Right now, T3's got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable, takes 4 seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. They will custom compound these agents for you in pill or topical forms. You pick and choose which agents you want. 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, you can always go online, t3hair.net.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shannara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Tyler's four downs in just a second. Before Brownie tells us about our friends at Bojangles, I wanted to point out that 128 nominees for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this year, and I went through it. I think there are four guys that should be first ballot guys this year.
Okay, so this is the first year they're eligible.
Yeah.
All right, they've waited the 5 years.
Drew Brees,
yes,
should be a first ballot guy.
Should be, yeah.
Phillip Rivers should be a first ballot guy.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get a no out of that one. Yeah. I don't think he will be. He won't be a first ballot. He'll be in, but he won't be a first ballot.
He won't be first ballot.
Yeah. He never won a championship. It's hard for a quarterback that never won a championship. Now, I think Dan Marino did it, but Marino was, at the time, maybe the best player at that position in the history of the game. But to never win a championship and be a first ballot quarterback is tough.
Eli Manning's in waiting, and
he's won two.
But his passing number is nowhere close to Phillip's, right?
No, I mean, Phillip Rivers is he's probably top 5 in yardage, wouldn't you think, Lance?
Top 10 for sure.
Oh, he's definitely top 10. I bet he's top 5 in all-time yardage.
Larry Fitzgerald.
Easy.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we got 2 of the 3.
Yep.
Jason Witten.
No. He will ultimately be in, but he is not close to a first ballot, in my opinion.
Well, I think what hurts him is since his career has ended, you've seen Gronk finish and you've seen Kelsey play the game, both of which are probably first ballot guys. So I think that kind of hurts Witten in the vote. Does that make sense? Not that he's going head to head with them.
Yeah, he was a different, slightly different type tight end. Still a lot more physical than what Kelsey and
Gronk did.
Yeah,
or Kelsey is doing and Gronk did. So yeah, I think I don't think Witten will be first ballot. I think you got 3 out of 5 right there, though.
2 out of 4. Eli Manning, Eddie George, they're part of the 128 others. There's a lot of people that are deserving. We'll see how many go in. You can just almost close your eyes and see the Saints and the Cardinals playing each other in the Hall of Fame game with Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald going in as first-team ballots, can't you? All right, we'll talk to Orlovsky coming up at 11:15, a little later than usual, 11:15 today when we get into the NFL coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at Bojangles.
You can make Bojangles part of your college and high school football weekend with their tailgate package right there. Get them to cater that tailgate for you, either at the high school game you're headed to or the college game you're headed to. Or those college watch parties at your house. Let them cater that as well at Bojangles. And don't forget, on your way to work tomorrow or on your way to school tomorrow, drop those kids off at school, that pork chop griller is back at Bojangles. and you can make it part of your breakfast. You've missed it. It has missed you. You can get back together with that pork chop griller at Bojangles. Whether it's the tailgate or breakfast, make it bow time.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, urologycentersalabama.com, 205-930-0920. Over 35 of the best urologists in America, part of the UCA family, and they're at 16 locations here in the state of Alabama that will help you stay on top of your health. Early detection so important. For your prostate health, kidney stones, and everything in between, 205-930-0920. Urology Centers, Alabama.com. Over 70 years of urological care. State-of-the-art right there with Urology Centers, Alabama.com.
First down.
One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, releases today. So give me your top 3 Leo movies.
To me, this is really easy. He's got a ton of great movies, but I would go Wolf of Wall Street, The Departed, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And to me, those are slam dunks.
I take out The Departed and put Catch Me If You Can.
I take out, what was the third one you said?
Once Upon a Time
in Hollywood. And I go Wolf of Wall Street, Inception, and The Departed.
Strong picks.
Yeah.
Have you seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
It's one of the top 50 greatest movies of all time.
It may be. Leonardo DiCaprio is fantastic. He's got a lot of those, I'm sure. If I might say a couple things about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Nobody would say anything about The Revenant, though. The guy that he won an Academy Award.
I didn't love The Revenant. I liked it. I
thought it was good. I mean, I thought the performance was great. Nobody talks about Titanic. Obviously, the biggest box office draw for him.
He was really good in it.
Titanic. There are a couple where I thought he played an exceptional role. Didn't love the movie. The Aviator, I thought he was terrific as Howard Hughes, but I didn't really like the movie.
Yeah.
There was one more. What was the other one where I thought he played a good role and I wasn't crazy about the movie? But two movies I like that would never get mentioned in this discussion that DiCaprio was in: The Quick and the Dead. It's kind of an ensemble cast. It's an old Western, or not an old Western. It's a Western that he was in. And The Man in the Iron Mask.
Oh, good pull.
Yeah, I like The Man in the Iron Mask. That's a good movie. But there was another one where he played a really good role, but I didn't like the movie. But I cannot remember right offhand. Oh, Gangs of New York.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did not like Gangs of New
I didn't
York.
either. I thought I was going to love it, but I thought he played a good role.
Second down.
Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, turns 41 today. Who's your favorite artist that has since branched out into other industries, whether it's acting or script writing?
Well, how about The Rock, one of the most powerful guys in Hollywood now, and from where he came from, from playing, kind of a role player at Miami, playing football, to going into wrestling, and then where he is right now is a leading man and having the power in Hollywood. Ricky Gervais was a guy that used to be in a band way back in the day and then got into comedy, and I think everything Gervais does is great. I think Eddie Murphy, going from comedian and 18-year-old on Saturday Night Live to making everything he does so easy. He takes a ton of bad roles, but Eddie Murphy can play anything.
I'll give you one from a sports genre is Peyton Manning. I mean, going from great athlete to, I think Peyton Manning does funny commercials. I think he and Eli are really good on the Monday night stuff they do. Peyton Manning as a Saturday Night Live host was very, very funny.
Yeah. He runs a production company.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning was going to be mine. He's turned into a great businessman, and I think one day if he wants to own an NFL team, he'll be able to do that or run one. But I think he's having too much fun with his production company. He puts on, I think, every one of the country music award shows now is his production company.
Omaha Productions does those?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
So, or a different part of Peyton Manning's production companies.
Third down.
Will Smith turns 56 today. What's the best Will Smith role?
It's funny. We talked about, or I was talking to Jack last night about the Bad Boys franchise. We really enjoy that. But I Am Legend, I think, is his best performance.
Men in Black for me.
And I thought it was a really, really good movie.
Yeah, Men in Black was good and surprising. Like, I didn't know that movie would be as good as it was.
I never saw the follow-up. I saw the original.
I don't think the follow-up obviously was as good, but I thought the original was really good.
I've never seen Ali. I'm a Michael Mann film, and I'm a big Michael Mann guy. Have you seen Ali?
I haven't. That was one that I just never got around to. I don't know why.
I've never seen it either.
But he was good in whichever, get them confused, Armageddon or whatever.
Independence Day.
Independence Day, yeah.
Oh, was he?
Same movie, right? They're basically the same movie.
One's aliens and the other's
an asteroid.
An asteroid.
For dramatic roles, Pursuit of Happiness.
It's too sad.
Yeah,
too sad.
You found happiness in the last 30 seconds. Pursued it for an hour and a half. And
I
found
miss
it.
the bus for my kid dropping his Captain America, man. I just.
Do you cry? Do you actually tear up?
Oh yeah, that is heartbreaking to think about. That's the only thing outside of his father that kid had in life.
I think
was
Dunaway,
that one object, and for a kid, that is security.
I think the same scene gets me in Dunaway when they're sleeping in the bathroom and he's got his feet up against the door to keep the guy from coming in, and his son's asleep, but he's
yeah, it's tough.
Tough movie, man. Tough movie. Yeah. Those machines keep breaking on him. You're like, dang, man, if one of those machines would just work. If he could just sell one of those machines, all he's got to do is sell one, Tyler.
4th down.
Happy birthday to Mark Hamill. He turned 73 today.
Before you ask it, this is the worst question, and I love you. This is the biggest lopsided, worst question you've ever asked.
Oh, wow, Tyler. Can't wait to hear the rest of it.
Scott says it's not, so I'm going to turn this
wow.
mic on.
Okay,
so
Scott. Scott against Lance.
So, Mark Hamill turns 73, and Michael Douglas turns 80. Better career.
Oh, God.
Michael Douglas.
Mark Hamill played one role.
In Corvette Summer, you missed that?
One role.
He's played the Joker for the past 30 years. He's voiced him. He's considered the best Joker voice.
Okay, Michael Douglas has won a handful of Academy Awards, a handful of Golden Globes. He's been in some of the most influential films out there. I think anybody could have played Luke Skywalker.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, do we even think Mark Hamill's a good actor?
I don't know. He's playing Luke Skywalker. You could. I mean, not to sound like Jerry Jones talking about Jimmy Johnson, but 500 guys could have coached that team to a Super Bowl.
Mark Wahlberg could have played Luke Skywalker.
I mean, iconic. Fatal Attraction, Wall Street.
Yeah.
I mean, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which he produced.
The game movie you gave me?
Yeah, The Game.
The Game. Yeah. What was the name of that one?
Yeah,
The Game.
Just dropped the movie.
Yeah, The Game.
Do you really think this is close?
I think it's a lot closer than you guys are making it out.
What is your chat room saying about it?
Okay. Scott, do you want to weigh in?
Yeah, please weigh in,
Okay, so
Scott.
I kind of misheard. I thought we were going to all-encompassing, wildest questions we've ever asked on 4 downs. Because some of the stuff that LT throws out sometimes
I got you,
Yeah, but at least
make my head explode.
No, but it's at least balanced.
David says, geez. Nicholas says, Douglas all day. Dylan asked an interesting question. Brian, Douglas, Dylan with Hamill. Oh, no, wait, he was correcting something. Keith says he agrees with LT here.
Yeah, I mean, C-3PO would go Michael Douglas here.
C-3PO.
Yeah.
A lot of people pointing out Hamill has done voice work. So there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody's falling in line here with pretty much
Michael Douglas has technically done some voice work.
Well, that was that was Dylan's line.
That all cleared up, though, right?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Still with us, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's still with us.
He's still with us. Doesn't scare me off.
Was that 4?
Yeah, that was 4.
Yeah, that was 4 downs there. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. If you're looking for something to eat.
Tuesday night, we picked up steaks.
I do these transitions.
Fantastic food from the New York Butcher Shop. From the great steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork, incredible sides like those fresh in-house made baked beans, the goat cheese mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts as well. 2 locations, Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Get in, see Jim and that fantastic staff. Rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
And if you're looking for more low-calorie food, you can with our friends at Way to Wellness. Your journey to healthy eating right there. aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. Leslie and her board-certified team will help you jumpstart your weight loss, whether it's injection therapy, meal replacement, the protein bars that I use to keep from bad snacking. It's all right there with Way to Wellness. The great location here in the Birmingham area. Leslie has helped so many of our viewers and listeners over the years, and she wants to help you right now. Planforme.com. Get a free consultation. There's no contracts, and the first visit is absolutely free there, that consultation. Go check them out. No cookie cutter plan. Planforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Will wanted to chime in on the Hall of Fame discussion. Is that right, Tyler? Let's get Will on real quick. Hey, Will, how are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Dunaway?
Hey, man.
Yeah. Just gonna push back a little bit on LT's quick dismissal of Jason Witten being a first ballot Hall of Famer. I was just looking. He's third all time in receptions, third all time in yards, fifth all time in touchdowns, and he actually
we're
blocked.
talking about for tight ends, right?
Right? Yeah, tight end.
Yep. No, I get it. I said he's a Hall of Famer for sure. I just don't think he's first ballot. And I would ask you, like, how many first ballot Hall of Famers at that position have there been? Was Ozzie Newsome a first ballot? Was Shannon Sharp? And I'm asking. I really don't know.
I'll look it up. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. But to me, he's top 5 all time when you consider actually blocking as, part of the position.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
He's not better than Gonzalez or Gronk or really Kelsey.
Yeah.
But after that, I think you can really make a conversation for him.
All right, here, according to AI, here are the 5 NFL tight ends that have gone in on the first ballot. Mike Ditka in 1988. Shannon Sharp in 2011. Tony Gonzalez in 2019. And Antonio Gates in 2025. It was actually 4 instead of 5. So Ditka, Sharp, Gonzalez, Gates. Is Jason Witten in that group?
He's close to that group. The one thing I would say is Hall of Fame doesn't put as much stock probably into the tight end position. I hate to equate it to kickers, but you just don't see a lot of kickers get inducted into the Hall of Fame. You just don't see a lot of tight ends. I agree with you, Will. He's a Hall of Famer for sure. I'm just saying first ballot. And I just don't think he's going to be on the first ballot.
I just have Tony Gonzalez as the only first ballot tight end. So I'm looking at a different list.
I just did Google and what AI told me. So yeah, you could be right about that.
I just have one.
Well, I hear you guys. It was a good,
Thank
it was a good discussion. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate you.
All right, we'll be good.
According to the list I'm looking at, there's only a handful of first ballot wide receivers of all time. Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Steve Largent, Paul Winfield, Lance Allworth, and Raymond Berry.
Oh, very, very tough to be a first ballot wide receiver.
Quarterback's a little different.
I mean, you guys don't think Phillip Rivers should be a first ballot, do you?
I don't, but he will be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think with his career not winning a championship, it's going to be hard to put him first ballot.
First ballot quarterbacks: Manning, Peyton, Favre, Aikman, Moon, Young, Marino, Elway, Kelly, Montana, Fouts, Bradshaw, Staubach, George Blanda, Johnny Unitas, Bart Starr, Bobby Lane.
I tried to keep up with it as you went. I think Warren Moon, Dan Fouts, and Dan Marino are the 3 on there that never won a world championship or a Super Bowl. I don't know what Bobby Lane did, but
he won the NFL championship before the Super Bowl with the Detroit Lions.
So I think those are the 3 first ballot guys that never won a Super Bowl, unless I missed one.
Yeah, only one outside linebacker was a first ballot Hall of Famer, Lawrence Taylor.
I would say he was very deserving of that.
Yep. Just not a lot of first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it should. I mean, it should be reserved for the best of the best, right? But some of that's going to be dependent upon who's eligible each class. I mean, there are going to be some classes where it's a crowded field, and there are going to be some classes where it's a less crowded field.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought the numbers were great from Phillip Rivers, but I mean, he was basically a 500 quarterback.
Yeah.
He was basically a 9-8 quarterback every year.
But if you had a Super Bowl to go with that, you would feel
it would be a little
bit
different
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, how much different is he than Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan's he's been to a Super Bowl.
Played in a Super Bowl. That is a difference.
And he's won an MVP. I think Matt Ryan was a better quarterback.
And the passing numbers have got to be pretty close. I don't have the all-time in front of me, but I bet Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers are pretty close.
I would say Matt Ryan had a better overall record playing for probably a shittier organization in the Falcons.
Corners, not a ton of first ballot cornerbacks.
Rod Woodson for sure.
Darrelle Revis, Charles Woodson.
Hey.
Champ Bailey.
Rod Woodson too.
Deion Sanders, Darrell Green, Mel Blount, Willie Brown. Those are the only first ballot.
So Rod Woodson is not
a first ballot guy.
That is crazy.
Was he a safety?
I mean, he played both. but I thought he was.
He was a free safety, first ballot Hall of Famer. Okay. Rod Woodson. Yep. It's a weird list, first ballot guys. The best of the best, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of running backs. Game's changed a lot.
How many quarterbacks currently playing will be first ballot guys?
Mahomes. Right. If he can get a Super Bowl, Josh Allen.
Same with Lamar.
If
Lamar
he can get
is
a Super
anyway.
Bowl, Lamar. You think anyway?
Yeah,
you going out a Super Bowl?
He's got 3 MVPs.
Yeah,
that's elite company.
I don't know about like the young guys just starting, like a Justin Herbert. People like that. I don't know.
Yeah, Stafford's in, but he will not be
I don't
first
think
ballot.
he'll be first
No,
ballot.
he shouldn't be first ballot.
No.
Yeah. By the way, first ballot guys who were close but didn't get in like last year, which means they should get in this year, which makes it harder for you to get in as a first ballot guy. Kuechly, Eli, Suggs, Earl Thomas, Vinatieri, and Marshall Yanda.
Yeah, tackle or guard for the Baltimore Ravens. Hey,
they were all semifinalists last year, very close to being inducted.
Cannot believe
just barely missed.
This sounds like an insane question. Do you guys think that Jalen Hurts has an opportunity one day to be Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
Oh, he will be a Hall of Famer.
I don't know if I'd say he
I would
will
not say
be.
that yet.
He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, that doesn't automatically get you in, though. That's Jim Plunkett.
Yeah, that's Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
What Dilfer's have? He's still got time. They may impress people enough at UAB. They're like, let's revisit his NFL career.
All right.
Did y'all see him making photos before
I thought you
the
were
game?
going to say making an eagle putt.
Be careful. There's a reason why.
No, I know.
Yeah,
He said he sent them to his daughter or granddaughter, right?
His daughter is expecting, can deliver, so he keeps the phone on him all the time. And he has a pre-ritual where he sends her the atmosphere of wherever he is, and thought it was unique. UAB getting to play at Neyland Stadium and sent the video to him.
It just looked weird seeing a coach already on the sideline. Run out of the tunnel. They're on the sideline. He's got the headset on, and he's doing photos. The first thing I thought is it's recruiting. Like he's sending it to recruits saying, hey, look where we are or something like that. And I thought, does he not have a guy to do that?
Which bothers you more, Trent Dilfer pulling out and just capturing the moment, or allegedly an Alabama player going through pregame warm-ups at Tallahassee while holding his phone during a blocking drill?
Well, it's because of his music. I mean, he's got his headphones in, and it's his music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But still.
I mean, I probably wouldn't be holding it if I'm the player.
Neither
one of them bother me particularly.
If Trent is winning
That's
games.
exactly right. That's what I said. I got asked about that on a podcast last night, and I was like, guys, if I've got my Beats or whatever headphones on, when I'm playing golf, I've got my phone with me.
Yeah, where do I put my phone? If
but
I'm
he was holding it in his hand going through a blocking drill. I said, dude, it's a blocking drill. 2025.
Yeah, I don't know what was he supposed to do.
I could be doing good content, by the way, showing you what it looks like to block in the SEC.
Practice like you play. I mean, they didn't block well against Florida State.
They said, do you think Nick Saban would allow that? And I said no, but
I would say this about Dilfer: if he was having success to Bill Clark level, you can take as many pictures as you want. If not, I probably would let the grad assistant do it.
Yeah.
Just somebody kind of in the background, take these pictures, send them to my phone.
Those are things that get magnified when you lose. I mean, and when you get drilled at Tennessee and you have a situation where a player steps on the kicker's leg.
We tell great stories of, I think, wasn't it Lee Corso when Indiana scored first at South Bend, called a timeout and got the team together and posed with the scoreboard behind 6-0.
Yeah, I bet that is more glorified now than it was then. I bet Indiana fans then were like, "What is this guy doing?
That's embarrassing.
This guy never wins games. What are we doing? Taking a picture up 6-0?
Absolutely embarrassing.
I bet that story has been very, very much embellished over the years.
It's like the Pizza Hut commercial where the guy's got a cast on kicking a 70-yarder in the snow.
Okay. More college football and Orlovsky coming up on the other side. The U.S. favorites to win the Ryder Cup, but it's very close. DeChambeau and McIlroy will be a great match to watch when that happens. It starts tomorrow. Practice rounds today at Bethpage. The opening ceremonies last night. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. Tell us about the folks that keep you running smooth, hot or cold, and flowing right.
Adam, Chad, Andrew, the best in the business. They are awaiting your call. If you experience any of the plumbing, heating, cooling issues, whether it's home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And Alabama Power knows we had some storms come through. Now we needed the
lightning
rain.
yesterday afternoon.
It's crazy.
Insanity.
Crazy. Now we needed the rain, thankfully, but if you did have some storm damage, they want you to make sure you're storm aware. Severe weather, as we saw yesterday in in Central Alabama can pop up when you least expect it. Alabama Power is always ready with the tech and know-how to get your power back on fast. With tools to prevent outages and a team on call 24/7, they are there to help you stay safe and in the loop. But you can stay ahead, too. Head to alabamapower.com/storm for storm safety tips. How to report an outage, how to stay updated when storms are coming. alabamapower.com/storm.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
And this hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's, world famous fried chicken, Highway 119 down in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew right there and enjoy a great lunch. They just opened up about 2 minutes ago. That chicken's brined overnight. I mean, the door is open at 11 every day, but they start working on your meal the night before when they brine that chicken, and then it's cooked to order. It's not sitting under some lamp. This thing is cooked to order. It comes out fresh, piping hot, juicy, all the way down to the bone. White meat, dark meat, so good. All the sides, the hand-cut chicken fingers that are huge. And the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, just a great destination lunch and dinner location. All right there at Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com. Okay, final hour, Dan Orlovsky, NFL football in about 12 minutes. To the college game, though. Alabama on the road at Georgia this weekend. Kane Womack here. Cut 10 Tyler, talking about Alabama's defense did not do a great job stopping the run in Tallahassee. They'll try to be better in Athens.
I think our run fits are improving as we go. I don't think we're where we want to be, and certainly I think there's some things that we've put on tape that we're going to have to answer for as we go down the season. Things that I would imagine Georgia and other teams in the SEC are going to try to expose. And so we want to make sure that we have a plan for those things. But I think our guys have been very locked in. The work that we've done thus far, we've had a good off season or bye week, off week of practice. And I think for you think about this team, this is a tough, gritty. Their backs run hard. They're physical, and so it's ultimately going to be about bringing a grown man to the ground, right, and the physicality that it takes to do that over and over. Because I think Coach Bobo does a really good job of just staying committed to the run game as it goes on, and those are like body blows in a boxing match, right? You got to be able to match pound for pound for as many times as they want to run the ball.
Is that not the biggest Alabama fear, if you're an Alabama fan, that what you have celebrated for 17 years of being able to drag somebody into the phone booth and beat them to death in a phone booth game, that you can no longer win those kind of games? That this is, Kirby and Mike Bobo are going to give that a run.
Oh, it's a grown man game, and I think Nate Frazier is going to get a ton of touches. Aaron Murray kind of touched on Nate Frazier a little bit. Alabama physically got whipped against Florida State, so I think this is a big moment. You knew kind of what was going to happen against La Monroe. You knew what was going to kind of happen against Wisconsin. Weird observation real quick. Kane Womack, every time I hear a soundbite, because of his pacing, it almost sounds AI. Like somebody, can you play it again just real quick?
We got AI Kane Womack.
Just the sound of it. Listen, like he doesn't say anything sensational, but does that make sense to you on the pacing? Listen.
Well, I've never thought of it.
I think our run fits are improving as we go. I don't think we're where we want to be, and certainly I think there's some things that we've put on tape that we're going to have to answer for as we go down the season.
I can kind of hear it now that you put it out.
Just every time you hear an AI, one of these generated bullshit pressers, it just sounds like that.
So this year, Alabama's rush defense, 12th in the conference, 138.3 a game, to be specific.
Florida State did that to them.
And Florida State did that to them. Unless you say, well, that's only 3 games, Brown. Florida State got away from them last year. So it's 138 a game. Last year, they were 11th in the conference at 137 a game. So I could make an argument that the pass defense you have seen now is kind of the rush defense you have seen now is their rush defense based on last year's numbers. So, I mean, we've really only seen one quality opponent that Alabama has played, and Alabama could not stop the run in that game.
The show today being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama back in 1995. Make the phone call that I made in 2003 when I got the procedure done. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
And you can go see NASCAR at Talladega Super Speedway coming up October 17, 18, and 19. It's the Yellowwood 500 weekend there at Talladega. Whiskey Myers, your Saturday concert. Sunday, you can get that garage experience presented by Cool Ray. It is the most immersive garage experience in all of NASCAR. Reserve your spot right now, either at that concert with a ticket, at the garage experience, or in the grandstands for any of the 3 races, Friday, Saturday, Sunday races. in the campground area in the infield at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com or by calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. October 17, 18, and 19, the Yellowwood 500 weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Availability report last night for Ole Miss, Austin Simmons not on it. So he is 100% healthy, or at least enough where he's not even probable. He's not on it. But according to reports, Trinidad Chambliss is going to get the start. Listen, I don't make $11 million, $10 million, $9 million, whatever Lane makes. Is this the right move or not the right move?
It's the right move. I think the way Chambliss has played, and again, I think he's one of these guys that maybe when they're in practice, and we had Clapp bring this up, that Gary Barnett, his former coach, he wasn't necessarily the most gifted guy, but hey, I want true simulations in practice where I can show you that I'm the guy that needs to be running this team. Look, I doubt that's been the case, but Austin Simmons put the ball in harm's way against Kentucky multiple times. Since Chambliss has come in because of the injury, he's been absolutely fantastic. He's yet to turn the football over. He's great with the legs. And then you start to look at the background on him from Ferris State and all of the production and winning back-to-back national championships. He just seems like a guy where the moment's not too big. So I don't know how you don't play him right now.
Yeah, I mean, my fear is, and I know you say he seems like the guy where the moment's too big, and hey, that could be true of Austin Simmons. When has he played in a big moment outside of that one drive against Georgia?
No, I mean, at Kentucky, he actually had bad interceptions.
Oh, yeah, 2 bad interceptions early, and that is one thing that Trinidad Chambliss in his limited playing time has not done is turn the ball over.
Yeah, but the reason I picked LSU yesterday is for what you're about to bring up.
Well, yeah, this will be it. I mean, playing Tulane is one thing. Tulane's a good group of 5 program. You played them in your place. You will beat them pretty badly. I mean, that was an impressive win. I'm not going to try to diminish that win. Playing Arkansas, that's one thing. It feels a whole lot different when you're playing Blake Baker and LSU and that LSU defense.
Yeah, look, I think the defense is, one of the most improved units in all of college football, giving up less than 10 points per game. What's going on with the offense? And this is one of those moments, if Garrett Nussmeier really, if people believe he's a first-round guy, these are the games where you got to go on the road, play in Oxford where it's become really, really difficult to win in Oxford. And he's going to have to put up some numbers because this offense, where LSU's offense is right now, it's hard to explain. I know they're not running the football, and you start there, but you've got weapons on the outside, and you've got an experienced quarterback. And the offensive line, it played pretty well against Clemson, so there's opportunities there. It's just they've got to come out of this offensive funk. I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. It's one of the most surprising things of the season so far.
But I kind of agree with Dunaway. Yeah. I think LSU's going to win this game.
Yeah, but if I can just bring you back to whichever quarterback going against the LSU defense in Blake Baker, known as maybe the best disguiser of his coverages. Does that not concern you, LT?
Well, yes.
I mean, you got a D2 guy, national champion, Austin Simmons, who hadn't played a lot. We saw what they did to DJ Lagway.
Oh, look, the defense hasn't allowed more than 10 points in a game this year.
9.3 is their average.
They haven't given up more than 366 yards of offense, which is incredible in today's college football. So, yeah, that would concern me. But the same thing with Simmons. I think either one of these guys is going to make mistakes against this defense. I think the key for Ole Miss is going to be, can you continue to limit LSU and especially limit them on the ground and make Nussmeier beat you? Because Nussmeier, in all 18 of his collegiate starts, he's gone over 200 yards. But guess what he hadn't done this year? He hasn't gone over 300 yards.
Yeah. I mean, the LSU offensive, I don't want to call it ineptitude. Is that a fair word, though? Is ineptitude a fair word? They're not inept. Are they?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't go inept or anemic. I would go, I don't know.
I don't know the word to use for LSU's offense, but
average?
Challenged.
Yeah, I guess so. How challenged or how average LSU's offense is, to me, is one of the biggest surprises of this season. Now, they're still undefeated. But I think we all thought Nussmeier was going to be better than this. They were going to be able to run the ball better than this. Nick Saban famously said, you shake trees in Louisiana and receivers fall out. They always got good receivers down there.
Yep.
It baffles me that they have struggled offensively.
Dan Orlovsky in just a second to talk NFL. The SEC schedule release for 26, 27, 28, 29 is giving us a couple of games that are happening back in venues we hadn't seen in a while. Next year in 2026, we'll get Florida at Auburn for the first time since 2011
My gosh.
Florida at Auburn. They haven't been there since 2011. We get that back in 2026.
Who was 2011 John Brantley?
I think you're right about that. My gosh, it's been since 2011 that Auburn is, or that Florida's played at Jordan-Hare.
We get Auburn at Tennessee, according to the College Football Travel Guy on Instagram. We get Auburn at Tennessee for the first time since 2013.
That's a little more believable. The Auburn-Florida thing's just so shocking because it used to be an annual rivalry. And to see the fact that they haven't played in Jordan-Hare since 2011 is amazing.
In 2027, we get Georgia at Texas A&M for the first time ever. They've been in the league since 2012.
Now, to be fair, COVID killed the one trip that they were supposed to go. That was the COVID year they were supposed to go. But it is amazing that in the entire time A&M has been in this league, they've never hosted Georgia.
Now, I think Alabama's going back to Athens this weekend for the first time since 2015.
Yeah,
right?
2015. First time, Kirby, you mentioned it.
LSU, Georgia in 2027 for the first time since 2013. Florida in Tuscaloosa for the first time since 2014. And South Carolina at Auburn for the first time since 2014. My Bookie brings you NFL conversation with Dan Orlovsky.
That's right. The ESPN NFL analyst joins us each week, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag and get that bet back bonus up to $500, covering your first bet up to $500 at MyBookie.ag. Dan Orlovsky with us now. What is up, Dan? How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot. Let's start with tonight's game. For Seattle to be a road favorite at Arizona, it takes a lot to be a road favorite in the NFL, in division, and this is where we find Seattle. What do you look for in tonight's game?
Both elite defenses. I think the whole division, the NFC West, has got big-time defenses. And Seattle's defense is one of the defenses that probably is in the conversation that we don't talk about enough. It's big time. And their defensive front, their front seven gets after in the run game. And so I think the offenses that are able to be a little bit more rhythm-based and having success on early downs would be better suited. Seattle's offense throws so much at you with different groups and different personnels and different actions. Sam Darnold playing really good. Jackson Smith and Jigba's becoming a big-time player against the defense in Arizona that's really, really, really difficult. You don't necessarily know what they're doing a lot. I think for Arizona offensively, talked about Seattle's defense, they got to get Marvin Harrison Jr. going. There's something going on there, man. He has uncharacteristic, ridiculously odd drops where he'll be by himself and the ball just gets dropped. Like last week, he would have had an 80-yard walk-in touchdown, but he just dropped it. And so can they get him in their pass game going tonight? McBride, their tight end's big time, but for them to win, Harrison's going to have an impact.
Okay, let's stay in the NFC West. I still, as of Thursday, have not gotten over this loss for the Rams in Philadelphia. I can't believe it. I tweeted out at halftime, Dan, that is the best, outside of the first possession, which was a short field with the Stafford turnover, the best 30 minutes of a Sean McVay defense I have ever seen. And then they come out and they get the Jared Verse hit and the sack and the fumble, and they go up 26-7. But my question to you is, how do you have, and I know there was a little movement on the offensive line with Dotson getting hurt, but how do you have, on your final two possessions, a 36-yarder blocked and then a 44-yarder block? Those are automatics in the NFL.
Yeah, I think those field goals go back to a little bit of week 2 when they had some push on that left side. And then if you go to the first kick, field goal-wise, that the Rams had, you saw pressure and you saw push. Now, both those guys, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they're a handful, right? And so, dealing with those guys is a big deal. I don't know if the Rams talked about it on the sideline or not. The one that ends up being the final kick, they had their backup guard, and I think so. That was an issue, and yeah, I was surprised. I agree. Once it went to 26-7, I went to my wife because her being an Eagles fan, I was like, yo, this is how they're going to go one way. They're going to get lopsided blown out here, or they're going to figure out a way to make this a ball game. And I think really one of the things that shocked me was how much they kept singling up A.J. Brown defensively, the Rams. They have 3 3rd-and-10 plus conversions in that second half, and they just leave A.J. one-on-one. And you don't match up against them. And so that was probably one of the things that you credit Philly, God bless the beautiful execution, but 3rd and 10 plus, and you just let A.J. Brown run curl routes and win one-on-one, that's a little bit of a head scratcher for me. So tough loss for them. I think they proved that obviously they're in that very small group, but that's one that you sit there, that flight home is a long flight home.
I love the conversation y'all were having on NFL Live when Laura was telling the story about Emeka Egbuka being a elite baseball player, outfielder, and doesn't think he can't track a ball down. How impressed are you with Tampa Bay's passing game so far, even though the receivers continue to be injured?
Yeah, it's kind of what I expected. It's been awesome to watch. Egbuka, I don't want to sit here and tell you like I saw this coming, but I think there was pretty fair high expectations for him. If you watched him play in college, he's runaway offensive rookie of the year for 3 weeks. I think this week is going to be interesting because no Mike Evans. Does he enter a different conversation? Can he go carry the load as the number one wide receiver and continue to have the impact? But it speaks to a couple things in Tampa. One, their new offensive coordinator, Josh Grizzard, has done a really nice job of just kind of taking everything that they've majored in and continuing to enhance it. Two, the patchwork offensive line has done enough. And that's like one of the things that is most shocking in the NFL. They've been decimated up front, but just Graham Barton going from center to left guard or left tackle, so that they've done enough. And then Baker's been absolutely sensational. He just has. He's been awesome. And so, that there's a big challenge against Philly, but Egbuka and seeing how he performs as like the focal point go-to guy, I think is going to be really interesting to watch.
Dan Orlovsky with us on the Alexander Shinnara Trial Attorneys Hotline. He's presented each week by MyBookie.ag. Code next round gets you that bet back bonus up to $500. MyBookie.ag. Are you on one of the Monday night games? Monday night, Dan?
Yep, we have Miami, New York, the Jets and the Dolphins down there.
I am so sorry, Dan. I am so sorry.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
It's Monday Night Football. It's Monday Night Football.
No. It's awesome for you. It's awesome for you.
He's a Dolphins fan. That's why he's saying
knows.
this. Yeah,
Dan knows. And those uniforms. The uniforms they're wearing are just that franchise is literally trying to kill me, Dan. Jackson Dart makes his first start for the New York Giants, and Dunaway mentioned the other day, it's like climbing Mount Everest. He's got to play. Who was it? He's got to play the
Chargers, Eagles
twice. Yeah, I mean it's his tough 5 games he's got. But man, they were talking about like Collinsworth on the Sunday night game was talking about him in glowing terms in the facility. The stuff they say this guy does. Have you heard the same stuff about him? Because I don't know that jumped out at Ole Miss.
I've heard really, really good stuff about him. I was a big fan of his coming out of the draft. I had thought he was going to be a top 10 pick. I was pretty adamant that I thought the Saints should take him at 9. They obviously did not. I thought his tape was a lot more impressive after you dove into it coming out of school than maybe the public expectation was. Listen, it's worst case scenario, though, for the Giants, if we're just being honest, because one, you got to kind of like go save the coach's job. Two, you're going in a situation where you're expected to just go step in and ignite this offense and play against this number one defense. And we don't have a lot of evidence and empirical data that says quarterbacks that get put into these situations go perform an incredibly high level and save that coach's job. So I think for him, it's like bring energy, bring juice. I expect them to copy a lot of the stuff that they did in college and try to go no huddle and spread it out for him and allow his athleticism to shine a little bit. This Chargers defense is real, though. It's a big challenge.
So I absolutely hate the European games, but we get those started this week. Did you ever play in any of those games? And
oh God, yeah.
Yeah, how different is it for the players? I mean, with the body clock and getting reacclimated and all that kind of stuff, how bad does it throw off a week or a couple of weeks of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely a hurdle. I think the acclimation thing there's a little bit too much to be made out of that, in my opinion, because I've played over there, I think 4 times. I played over there when we went over for the whole week, and we were there for the week. We had a really cool experience. The team that we were playing flew in on like Friday night, did a practice walkthrough, and I was like, we're going to blow their doors off. We lost 41-14. And then I played over there, at another time when we kind of did the whole fly. I think we flew on, maybe it was Thursday night or Friday night as well. And we went down 21-0 and oh my gosh, we're going to lose and then come back and win the game. So, I think it's all how you go about handling it once you get boots on the ground type of thing. And honestly, how good of a football team you are, how good your quarterback is able to handle all of it. I don't think it's that different. I think a lot of teams have learned throughout the years most places pack their whole building essentially. They bring, I've been a part of places where like you bring your own food, you bring your own cooks, you bring your own chefs. So everything is very similar to what it is in America. I think that game is going to be interesting just because I fully expect the Vikings to completely control that football game and in many ways dominate it. So I like those games. I enjoy them. It's one less thing that I have to watch on a Tuesday afternoon because I have it watched by Sunday night.
Dan, either the Chiefs or the Ravens are going to be 1-3. And I'm sure Elias or whomever throws you stats have told you the stats on 1-3 teams, but it's hard to believe either one of those teams missed the playoffs, right?
Yes, but that's for me. It just feels more must win for Kansas City. The Chargers are staring 7-0 in the face. The Broncos are still going to be very good and should get to 2-2. So for a team that's lost to the Chargers already, if the Chargers are 4-0. And you're 1-3, while it's early, it just feels like almost impossible to play catch up in that world. And so I just think if they fall to 1-3 in Kansas City and the Chargers get to 4-0, like missing the playoffs becomes just what it feels like a very real conversation for the first time in a long time, especially if they don't play well. And so not that 1-3 for the Ravens would be good, but they don't have the division that the Chiefs have to deal with. And so, yes, both want to win it. It just feels more must win, must play well for the Chiefs.
I had a Ravens fan I was talking to the other night, and he said, it's just weird watching us not be physical anymore. Does the tape say that too, that on defense they're just not a Ravens defense anymore?
Yeah, defensively for sure. Offensively, they're as physical as anybody. But defensively, it just looks like they've been built to beat the Chiefs and the Bengals. 5 first-round picks in the secondary. They can cover you about as good as anybody, at least on paper. And just they got punched in the mouth and smash mouth. They're not built to play the Bills, the Colts, the Chargers, downhill, physical, violent run teams. And so that's the interesting thing is like if you're the Chiefs, if you can't run the ball against this defense, who can you run the football against? And so I think Baltimore now, Matabike not being there is different and certainly a miss, but there needs to be a grit and a toughness back in that defensive front.
I found it interesting you were asked this question earlier today, so I'm going to ask it again. College football to close out. One coach that can least afford a loss this weekend in college football is?
Yeah, it's Kalen DeBoer for me. I mean, they're 2-5 on the road under him. I think in their 3 matchups against those premier teams, which would be Florida State, Michigan, and Oklahoma, they got 33 drives and 3 touchdowns. That's bad. So like they got to play better offensive football. Kirby struggled against Bama. I know it's not Saban's Bama. And I just think, going on the road and losing again after being 2-5 and on the road and the way that they've looked, and obviously the college football playoff, it doesn't knock them out, but it feels like it does. So, I think it's a big one for Bama.
All right, you'll see Dan Orlovsky, Monday Night Football, Dolphins playing host to the Jets in weird Dolphins uniforms. You can see that, ESPN on Monday Night Football. Thank you very much for the time, Dan. Enjoy the football this weekend.
Enjoy, guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. Dan Orlovsky with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Orlovsky joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at MyBookie.ag. Get that bet back bonus up to $500 on your first bet. They cover it up to $500 at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag. Code next round for that bet back bonus.
I know you're smiling, Dunaway, and if I would have seen that, I would have asked Orlovsky.
What?
They're debating better Hall of Fame case, Eli Manning or Russell Wilson. Is this even a debate?
Well, I mean,
is this a debate?
We debated Michael Douglas and Mark Hamill earlier, so I'm just saying that there are times you feel programming.
Okay.
I mean, Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl and should have won 2.
And he was
statistically a better quarterback.
He was just a much better quarterback when you watched him.
Yeah. 121, 80-1 was his record. That is a heck of a quarterback record in the NFL. 121.
He was. For a long time, he was a top 3 quarterback for like 5 to 7 years. He was an elite quarterback.
I think both of them are Hall of Famers. And Eli will go in before Russell Wilson, so I don't know what
just because of the retirement, the timing, and everything.
What the debate is. But Russ has got to wait 5 years before he can go in if he quit right now, and Eli's going to go in before Russ can go in.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sad thing for Russ is the lasting look of Russ from Denver to Pittsburgh to now New York. I mean, but
that used to be the way every Hall of Fame quarterback looked.
But that was before social media and Sunday Ticket and everything else.
To get the paycheck before you made as much money as you made, you wanted to keep getting a paycheck. So Joe Namath would be a L.A. Ram, and whomever, O.J. Simpson would be a 49er. And
Jerry Rice was a Seattle Seahawk.
Yeah, and before you made all this money, you had to go keep getting paychecks.
Did Stabler finish with the Oilers?
Did he play for the
Saints, maybe. Saints. That's right, because it was so close to South Alabama where he grew up. And
I remember there's a movie called Tightrope. I think 1982, Clint Eastwood. It takes place in New Orleans, and him and his daughter are throwing the football before the game, and he's about to take her, and they're talking about Kenny Stabler.
I think his last professional game, I think the Saints were 7-8, needing a win to get in the playoffs. That's how bad the division was. And I think they could have gotten a wild card or something, if I remember it correct. It was a big game, and it seems like they were 7-8. Maybe they were 8-7 or whatever.
Yeah, were they in the NFC West at the time?
Yeah,
that was the old NFC West.
Boy, I bet that was a fun time. There were early on Saints games down in the quarter with that new dome, which everybody just howled about how modern it was back
3 years with the Saints. He played his last 3 years with the Saints.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that the first ever football game ever played in the Superdome was Alabama-Penn State. Sugar Bowl.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And then the Saints played there the next year. I know it was the first college football game played there was Alabama-Penn State Sugar Bowl.
Superdome has seen a lot. Again, going back to that Katrina.
1975. So it would be January 1, 76 maybe? Or January 1, 75. I can't remember. It seemed like it was Alabama-Penn State was the first ever game in the Superdome.
It opened in 1975 for sure.
Well, they missed. They were hoping to be ready for the Super Bowl, and they missed because of budgets and stuff like that.
Ended up playing that one at Tulane Stadium, right?
Yeah, that's right. Good memory, Jimmy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Seems like that was a Cowboys game.
I think you're right about that, yeah.
Cowboys-Dolphins, maybe?
Could have been. Could have cold and rainy conditions, it says.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll go check that for the Superdome. All right, as we head to break here, question last night at Odie's was?
The question last night at Odie's was, which continent is home to the world's largest desert?
I said Australia, because isn't the entire continent a desert? And
no.
Lance said the entire continent's outback. That's not a desert.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a very large outback. A lot of blooming onions.
Most people would say Africa, but the answer is Asia.
I'm going to go with North America.
North America is what Tyler is going with.
Antarctica is actually the answer.
A little trick question for you right there.
Well, I guess it is a desert.
Yes. It's an ice desert?
Yes, I can guarantee you I will never go to Antarctica. That's one thing I can guarantee in life.
If I had a red flag, I'd challenge the Odie's trivia question last night.
No,
definition.
That's legitimate.
The definition.
I think it's continent or country.
Desert is a landscape where little precipitation occurs, and consequently living conditions create unique biomes and ecosystems. Doesn't necessarily say it has to be hot.
It does. See, when I hear desert, I hear sand.
I'm with
you. It's like the people are going to tell me that tomatoes are fruit.
It is.
That was I know it is. I know it is. But
and strawberries aren't berries.
Yeah, and they're not.
You brought up The Thing, John Carpenter's 1982 film. Do you think in Antarctica and some of these frozen regions we've never dug anything up? Do you think we've got some of these microorganisms, or what am I looking for?
Microorganisms.
Organisms?
Microorganisms.
Things like that have been basically frozen for centuries and centuries.
That keeps us from becoming extinct.
Well, that's why they tell you not to drink the glacier water. You see a lot of influencers going out to where you can get where they harvest the glacier water, the purest water, and
then you shit out an alien.
Yeah, and then they get super sick.
That's right. There's stuff in there for decades and decades, centuries.
Yeah.
Try millennia.
Thousands
of years. You're just drinking these ancient bacteria.
The urine from a woolly mammoth.
Yeah,
it's probably not good for you.
Okay. The good drinking does take place at Odie's, where did find out. So no live music on Saturday nights because college football wall to wall, but they have live music on Thursdays and Friday nights. We do Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night.
No shot at you, Florida State, Virginia, or TCU, Arizona State this Friday night.
Hey, those are really good games. Odie's Tavern, though, Birmingham Institution, 2 locations, Crestline. The newest location in Edgewood. Great food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it almost 4 decades at both. Get in, see Will Avery and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes. Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC. Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
A couple of college football things that if I didn't know them to be true, I would not believe them. You ready?
All right.
Oregon's never lost a Big Ten game.
So, I mean, obviously, I guess if you're playing in the Rose Bowl, that does not count as a Big Ten game, though you're playing a Big Ten opponent. Okay.
That's right.
I mean, that one's a bit – you got to have the asterisk on that one, though, right?
You lost to Ohio State, but it wasn't a Big Ten game.
I know, but you were a Big Ten member. Game. At the same time, they're a Big Ten member. You almost have to have a sugar that. Okay, yeah. I'll allow that one.
Unbeaten in the Big Ten regular season last year and won the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll allow that one.
October 4th, Miami at Florida State.
Okay.
October 4th.
Miami at Florida State, October 4th.
Yeah, prime time on ABC.
Okay.
It'll be the first primetime ABC game since they took over the SEC contract without at least one SEC team in their primetime game. How about that?
Why is there not an SEC game there?
Well, because Miami and Florida State's so big.
They want to. They're choosing to show that. It's not that the SEC schedule's that bad. It's that Miami, Florida State's going to be that good.
Choosing to show that.
Can I tell you how much hinges on this Florida State Virginia game?
Yeah,
a lot of storylines.
Yeah, I mean, to Lance's point, you've already moved that into prime time.
I'm just saying, like, if they lose that game, I mean, the luster is completely off of what is Florida State Miami coming up, and I do think there's a lot of Alabama fans that are going to be concerned. Like, oh my gosh!
I know.
Like, what?
You've already seen Wisconsin.
They're
be
terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tomorrow night, that's a fascinating game. It really is.
That one is tomorrow night, 6:00. Florida State, Virginia on ESPN. TCU, Arizona State with Big 12 championship game implications. 8:00 on Main Fox tomorrow night as well in college football. You do have a game tonight, Army and East Carolina. If you're looking for a little Thursday night college football to be an appetizer or side dish to Seattle and Arizona on Prime. All that happening. All right, the show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Gutter Cap LT. Tell us about the great folks at Gutter Cap.
Our man, Chris Stewart. Make the phone call today. Look, it's a dirty, dangerous job. Nobody wants to clean the gutters out, but you need to make sure the gutters are clean and free-flowing. The answer is Gutter Cap. It's a patent aluminum cover system. Fits over most existing gutters. It will keep all of the debris out. It will keep the gutters clean and free-flowing. They will come out. They'll clean them one final time. They'll cap them. You'll never have to do it again. You get that ladder out. You get on the roof. You slip, you fall, snap the neck, and die. No good to the wife or kids. Make the phone call that we've made. 205-823-2212 or GutterCapBirmingham.com.
So much conversation this week about Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, but you guys teased it a little bit a couple of times this week. You sort of dipped your toe into the 3:15 SEC Network Tennessee Mississippi State game. Here is unbeaten head coach Jeff Lebby, Mississippi State, about home field advantage with the bells that'll ring all day long on Saturday in Starkville.
How do your guys feed off the atmosphere? Is that a real thing?
It's a very real thing. Home field advantage is very real, and you know, with the opponent coming to town, their first true road game. They had a neutral site game to open the year, but their first road game. It needs to be an atmosphere and an energy that is really, really, really hard for the opponent to come play in, and that's going to be a huge piece of it on Saturday. Our people will have great energy. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and then our guys are going to be excited to be able to keep them really involved in the game by how we play.
You know, they win this game, and I think right now through 5 games he would be your SEC Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Because we knew they would be improved with Blake Shapen at quarterback offensively. They had to go up. But this defense is only giving up 11.7 points per game, and they completely shut down Arizona State's offense. I think it's a fascinating game. I think it's a game that Mississippi State can win.
Or you think they can win the game?
I think they can, yeah. And Lebby is one of these guys quietly. You know, they've lost 10 straight SEC games going back to the 2023 season. But not only are they 4-0 to open up, they've covered 5 straight games. He's 5-0 his last 5 out.
I mean, probably the biggest. I had to look at this morning, and I've still got it pulled up here. Biggest game they have played since October 15th, 2022. It's been a little while. And that was the day they had reached number 16 in the country under Mike Leach, and they were at number 22 Kentucky. Now, selling Mississippi State at Kentucky is kind of hard, but that's a top 25 matchup that year. Number 16 Mississippi State at Kentucky. Now, they lost the game 27-17 to Mark Stoops in Kentucky, fell to number 24. Alabama shellacked them the next week. They fell out of the top 25. and I don't think they've been back in since that season.
And let me say this. I think they can win. I don't think they will win, and I don't think they're going to win another game this year.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So we fell off quick. He went from coach of the year to not winning another game.
I mean, they have a top 30 scoring offense. They've got a top 20 scoring defense. They've had, basically blowout wins outside of the Arizona State win over a top 12 team. But I don't think they win another game. I mean, you guys, do you feel good about another win?
I don't, but I cannot imagine the party in Starkville.
They're going to be underdogs in every game.
The party in Starkville Saturday night if they win this game. That is a long-suffering, hungry fan base. You saw them celebrate against Arizona State as they should have. This will dwarf that celebration to win a conference game like that.
Is that one of Josh Allen's hats? Where the kids
I don't
throw
know.
it?
That's a good question. That's a bulldog, but I can't tell.
As LT gets ready to tell you about Sleep Home Alabama and our friends at CPAP Plus, his last comment will be a great test study about our social media team on the back row back there, the ABC 3340 alumni group, on whether or not the little clip of LT saying that Mississippi State does not win another game the rest of the year makes it out there today. And if it gets pushed as much as me saying Vandy's not a good football team.
I will stand behind him. Mississippi State's not winning another game.
Including Tennessee. They're going to lose to Tennessee.
I think this Tennessee game is going to be really, really tight.
Just a nice test study. Just see what happens on social media this afternoon.
Just keep covering, Levy. I'm going to have you. Plus 7.5.
CPAP Plus.
Hey, it is Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. I ran into our man Joe O'Neill just a couple of days ago. Joe, Woody do such a great job. They've got 5 locations of CPAP Plus across the state. Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. Sleep so important to your health. Look, if you're starting to forget things, you're tired all day, you need that nap. It's exhausting. You need to make sure that you get the right sleep testing done to see where you are on your 8 hours of sleep every night. Only $199. No lab, no insurance, just easy-to-wear fingertip devices, clinically validated that connect to your smartphone, complete with that physician's interpretation of your results. SleepHomeAlabama.com for more information.
And before Tyler hits the button, our friends at Champy's Chicken, they bring you this hour every day. Champy'sChicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Lunch and dinner, tailgating, happy hour. It's for all the fun, including those hand-cut chicken fingers and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's time for trash. Tyler, hit it, man.
Tell me about the whistles. The whistles got woo. When you want to woo, it's that woo, woo. You know what I'm saying?
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends at Bud Light.
Hey, I got in this little wormhole of the Superdome trying to figure out if you were right on that first game.
I meant to look that up.
And
somebody said it was Tulane Ole Miss the year it opened.
The one thing that jumped out to me, they tried to convince the Athletics during the 78-79 season of moving to the Superdome, and they almost did it. They couldn't break their lease.
Yeah.
So we almost had the New Orleans Athletics before we have the Vegas Athletics.
So they were ready to get rid of Oakland that early.
Yeah.
They used to play a college baseball early season games.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Down there.
Now, I have to say this.
And they almost got the Pirates. Forgot what year that was.
Even when the Bash brothers were there, I always hated watching games in that stadium.
Oh, terrible.
The one in Oakland. Yeah. Even before it became a dump, when it was just the same stadium as everybody else, I hated watching games in that
You guys ever been attacked by an animal? Anybody here?
My dad got bit on the, I would say, lower thigh, just above the knee, whichever way you want to go on that, by a rabid squirrel.
You see that?
Yeah, it's a scar. What's that from?
That was from Bullet the other day, taking him to the dog park.
Oh, jeez.
His ass was up on the console.
Bit you?
No, he didn't bite me. It's just he's got the biggest paws, man. It's like a bear paw. Anyway, this is not a dog. It's not a bear. 2 people had to seek medical attention following vicious squirrel attacks.
Hey, they get feisty,
And
man.
that quote came out of nowhere. That is a great picture. That's like the old 60s football pictures, you know?
Yeah, he's about to make the tackle.
But Dad, I mean, it was old school. Dad had to get the shots in the stomach because they didn't know if it was, they assumed it was rabid. That's why a squirrel would bite you.
Yeah, you got to make that assumption.
The rabies shots are supposed to be some of the worst. Just because the gauge is so big and so long.
Why does it have to go in the stomach?
I don't know.
But
I don't know if that is still the case, but that's the way it used to be.
No, I think it is, though.
So Joan Heblack and Isabel Campoy, 2 residents, same neighborhood in California, similar story to tell. Quote, it just clamped onto my leg, was just hanging on. The tail was flying up here. I was like, get off me. I didn't want to touch it. Black recounted. She isn't talking about the typical vicious, violent animal, no coyote, no wolf, anything of that sort, but a very angry squirrel. Quote, it came out of nowhere. I didn't see him running up to me at all. The squirrel clawed at her legs deep enough to prompt a visit to the emergency room. Isabel Campoy and her niece were walking around the same area that Black was attacked in when a same situation occurred. Quote, a squirrel went to the floor, tried to jump up to my face, which I tried to protect with my arm, was completely overcome by the squirrel. Finally, it jumped off. By then, I was full of blood. I ran to the emergency room. When I saw her with the blood on her arm, I was like, oh my God, her niece said. So there you go. The squirrel now has attacked more than 5 people. I would just start killing these squirrels.
Like, just for a little, I know we don't have a Grays today, a Grays Tree Service Deadwood. First college football game played in the Louisiana Superdome, now known as the Caesar Superdome. It was December 31st, 1975, Sugar Bowl game between number 3 Alabama and number 7 Penn State.
Roll Tide.
So
you got it right. Yeah.
Very good.
Can I point out on the squirrel that we're living on Diablo Circle? It's probably a bad name for a street. I mean, just because it's Spanish, and you're like, well, we can name it Diablo. It still means devil. That's how they say it in Spanish.
Yeah,
I mean, would you want to live on Devil Circle? Would you ever buy a house on Devil Circle?
One thing I noticed a lot in Hawaii when we were over there were these red squirrels and how prevalent they were. We don't have the red squirrel around here.
Are they bigger?
A little bit.
Than our squirrels?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. You ever see those squirrels like you're playing golf or whatever, and they're running down the tree, like they're going around and around down the tree chasing each other? And then they just get on the ground and it's like over. I'm like, wait, what are you doing?
September 20th, Tulane and Ole Miss played in the Superdome, too. Yep.
You're going to love trash.
Yeah, 1975.
When you get out of the Superdome.
The Bradenton Police Department said a man was arrested Sunday after he was caught doing a burnout to, quote, impress girls at a red light while driving under the influence. I've never understood, like, cars impressing girls, but somebody doing a burnout is next level, right?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, you do a burnout, you get any woman you want. It's a rule.
Officers with the department's crime reduction team said they were patrolling 12th Street in downtown Bradenton when they heard a vehicle revving its engine. Soon after, police said they saw a silver pickup truck barreling southbound at a high speed. The driver, identified as 28-year-old Juan Leon. That's quite the name.
Juan Leon.
Juan Leon swerved to avoid the officers and pedestrians, but was stopped at a red light. That's when, quote, Mr. Leon opted to do a burnout to impress girls. He was arrested on several charges, including driving under the influence, reckless driving, and aggravated assault.
Oh, we got video.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't want to play right when I go to it.
Look how impressed those girls are right there, though. I mean, look how impressed they are.
Best burnout ever. You remember the old Cafe Forenza, which is now a Mexican joint?
That cop's right on top of him, too. That dude wasted no time.
It's a cool light show, though. It's like Miami's running out of the tunnel with the smoke and the lights.
Do you guys, though, remember Cafe Forenza?
Yeah, I know where Cafe Forenza
So this dude pulled his motorcycle in there one time and did a burnout in the middle of the bar, and the whole bar was, like, smoked out.
Oh wow.
So annoying. Rather have fajitas, right?
Yeah, that's a little worse than fajitas.
Yeah, worse than fajitas. I remember Doc Ricketts doing one in the Jocks parking lot in his
that was
Mustang.
awesome.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Where he's leaving and he
I thought I saw him from
burnout.
afar the other night. I haven't seen him in forever.
Who, Doc Ricketts?
Yeah.
Tell him I said hey.
I don't think it was him.
Oh, okay.
Thought it was for a second. I was going to go say hey, but then I was like, I don't think that's him.
Don't you hate that feeling when you're like, I think that's somebody, and then you're like, should I go over there? And then you go over there. Ooh,
no, the worst is when they wave and you think you know them and you wave, and then behind you is
somebody's waving.
Polly was at the Alabama-Auburn basketball game.
Doc Ricketts' daughter?
Yeah.
How about that?
Last year, the big 1-versus-2 game.
It's the stuff of nightmares, waking up from sleeping to find a stranger in your room, but that's what happened to a woman in Florida's Panhandle at 5:30 a.m. one morning. Even after she kicked him out, he decided not to leave. Now, according to the Walton County Sheriff's Office, a woman called 911 from her Dufiniac Springs home with bizarre stories. She had woken to the sound of 40-year-old Elijah Spencer standing next to her bed, mumbling. Naturally, she yelled at him to leave, and he walked out the back door. Police later found that Spencer had left articles of clothing around her home. He had even opened and eaten multiple prepackaged snacks. She may have hoped she was done with the scary encounter, but she wasn't. Woman later went to her car and was in for a shock. Spencer hadn't left at all. He was sleeping in the back seat of her car. Deputies ordered Spencer out of the car. He refused, so they pulled him out, charged him with burglary of an occupied dwelling, burglary of an unoccupied conveyance, criminal mischief, and resisting an officer.
Y'all know I'm not the biggest peanut butter fan, but that Kirkland thing of those peanut butter pretzels, I can eat the piss out of it.
Cannot have them in the house because I can't stop eating them.
I know. Those are so good.
I just got new ones that have jelly in them, too. They're not as good.
Peanut butter and jelly in a pretzel? It's not as good? Okay.
It's hard to get that jelly to stay good in there.
Well, and I like my jelly cold. Like when I eat a peanut butter and jelly, don't you eat cold jelly?
Me too.
Room temperature peanut butter?
So, Utz, UTZ,
they bought Golden Flake.
They don't do a good peanut butter pretzel.
Do they not? I've never had it.
The best are the ones at Publix, and I forgot what the brand is. I've got them in the cabinet right now.
Oh, no, my wife gets those, the ones at Publix. Now, I'll tell you what Utz does. They do a Mike's Hot Honey chip. Fantastic.
Is that pretty good?
Yeah, I don't know why that has become my thing. Like, I did that all through the food segment there.
You did.
I did. I know. I'm owning it. You don't have to.
You know what I call it?
What?
I just refer to it as BT, Brown Tourette's.
They also do Old Bay, the crab.
Yeah, I didn't like those as much. Did you try them?
No, the East Coast guys. My man, you guys know Ryan.
Yeah.
Jack's best friend. His dad, Kevin. They absolutely love the Old Bay.
I thought they looked good, and I got a small bag just to try them at the convenience store.
I was disappointed.
They were not. They were not.
Yep.
No.
I still say the barbecue and the pickle mixed together is
very good.
Would be a great
So much
brand.
Golden Flake did it for a minute.
Yeah.
They did the Golden Flake pickle.
Miss
that was
Vicky's,
AM690 we came up with that.
Miss Vicky's pretty good. The peanut butter or the peanut oil chip. They've got a pretty good selection, but they've got a spicy pickle now.
Yeah. I like. I tell you what, my wife bought one Saturday, College Football Saturday. Is all right. So you know the Miss Dots pretzels. Similar to that, what is the brand that does the voodoo chip?
Yeah,
Zaps. They do voodoo pretzel sticks.
Yeah. Those are great. Yeah,
I can't stop. I mean, once I get started on them,
I'm shocked at these.
Oh, they are so good. I assume they were Publix or something like that.
Shocked how polarizing the Zap is. There's a lot of people that don't like
very
Zaps.
Crunchy.
It is crunchy.
It's a bit crunchy for me, but I like that voodoo taste.
It's a great kettle chip though.
It's a lot of different flavors too. Like it's kind of got like the smokiness of a barbecue chip, but it's also got like the bite of a salt and vinegar.
It does. I kind of like a thin chip though.
I like the voodoo chips.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, they're the best.
Very good.
Very
on
good.
edibles.
Very good.
But I do feel like when I'm eating that chip, that I'm eating every one of those calories.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
Like
if you eat a thin chip, it kind of disappears in your mouth.
And it doesn't seem to. But the Zaps, I feel like, okay, if this is 9 chips for 200 calories,
I'm getting all of them.
It is all 200 calories. In fact, I think it's lying to me.
This past Friday, a judge dismissed a lawsuit claiming Hershey's Reese's candies tricked customers by depicting spooky Halloween designs on their packaging, while the unwrapped chocolates were in fact featureless.
Okay.
I mean, that just happens when it melts.
Yes,
I mean, come on.
What are we doing here?
I mean, it's hot temperatures. It's going to happen sometimes.
Well, no.
That was a pumpkin.
That's not exactly what they're looking for. The face,
the jack-o'-lantern face.
Yeah, U.S. District Judge Melissa Damian ruled on Friday that the consumers who filed the class action lawsuit failed to show that the lack of details on the chocolate and peanut butter candy, such as the missing mouth and eyes on the jack-o'-lanterns, ghost, and other Halloween-themed figures, had caused them economic harm.
Oh, we should. There should be some kind of penalty to the people that bring this kind of lawsuit. All you're doing is sitting there trying to take down an American company. Oh, look, I think we can get this lawsuit right here. Come on.
So the judge not only rules in favor of the company, then they also turn around and they're like, and you who brought this suit
will never eat chocolate.
Yeah, it's like they've thrown a challenge
now,
flag.
Damian pointed out that while the consumers may have been disappointed about the chocolates, they were not, quote, worthless. In other words, chocolate still tasted like chocolate, even if they weren't as haunting as the purchasers had expected from the packaging.
Another weird thing about me, and I got a lot of quirks. I got a lot of quirks, Jim. Another quirk about me, I do not like Reese's cups, but the Reese's shape, like the pumpkin and the Christmas tree and all that, like those fine.
Oh, it's
Easter egg.
That's not unique to you. Maggie loves the Reese's cup,
but she doesn't like the other one.
But only wants the Christmas tree, the pumpkin.
I can eat those
the
fine.
Egg-shaped ones.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the original.
The best tasting are the small and the gold packaging.
I kind of agree with you. The one bite.
Yeah. I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah, I'm just not a big peanut butter guy. That's
that's your problem.
That is a big problem when it comes to the Reese's Cup.
Yeah. That is very surprising. So because you really don't like bacon either.
I'm not a big bacon guy. Yeah.
How about bacon dipped in peanut butter? I mean, a bacon peanut butter sandwich would be delicious.
Whoa. There used to be like a milkshake at maybe Sonic.
No, it was the place up at the Summit that was on the corner for a little bit. They had like a peanut butter shake with bacon in it. What was it called? Remember the place? It
Not
was,
Shake Shack.
No, it was
Flip Burger. Was
Flip
that
Burger.
Flip
Yeah,
Burger.
Flip
They
Burger.
also had the Krispy
Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah. And they
milkshake.
had the one
It was
with
like
the s'mores.
liquid night.
Yeah, they were sponsors for a long time.
Yeah,
Flip Burger.
Yeah. It closed down.
Well,
I think it's a Lululemon now.
Wasn't our fault. No, Lululemon is now moved.
It moved?
Yeah.
I was going by there today.
Yeah, Lululemon. No, they're right by Culinary Dropout now. So they've got they've got a massive.
Oh, I saw that the other day when I drove by
there.
there.
Yeah. Now, Lululemon was like, this massive space, not enough for us. We got plenty of moms coming in here buying stuff. We need a bigger space.
I went in the new one.
And Jim.
It's still covered up. Like,
oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's even bigger now. Yeah. I thought they just made a killing off people waiting to get into that Mexican restaurant on the corner.
You think if you're a good-looking single guy, hanging out at Lululemon for a minute might be a good idea?
I'll let you know about 2:30. I'm kidding. I'm not single.
Wow. Yeah, that was the issue.
He said I wasn't good looking. That's Trash, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. The weekend is almost here. Pick up some cold, delicious Bud Light.
And our friends at Alexander Shinard Trial Attorneys.
That's right, Alexander. That was after Trash, right? I'm supposed to do Alexander Shinard Trial Attorneys.
Yeah.
You got a hand signal for that one?
It's while I'm over here. That's why I'm here.
Shinara.com. Shinara.com. That is where you go when you're in need of a trial attorney. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. So you start at Shinara.com. This is a guy that is a Birmingham guy, and he wanted to build a firm that was able to serve all of his Birmingham community. Well, they've done that for 24 more years, more than 24 years. They've been right here in Birmingham, more than 500 employees, 150 attorneys, and more than $2 billion recovered for their clients. Shinara.com.
You've been with us 15 years. Lance sells them. I set them up, and Brown reads them. That's usually the way it works there, Brownie.
All right.
That's usually the way it works.
I think, I don't know which job's most important. Probably Lance selling them.
Yeah.
Without that.
It never gets to.
That's right.
If he doesn't snap the ball, I never get to hand it off to you.
That's right. Without that, we don't have it.
I will tell you this. I don't know what the Big Ten's trying to do. Our final thought here. Big Ten and socialism was the headline that caught my attention today. The playoff commissioners met yesterday. The Big Ten now talking about more than 20 teams where all four power conferences get the same number of automatic bids.
Yeah.
In a very socialistic style. Same number of auto bids. I think he's just trying to win friends in the room, to be honest with you. Nicole Auerbach of NBC and SiriusXM reporting that it is now believed that we will have the same exact 12-team playoff format that we're going to have this year, next year in 2026.
I'm okay with that.
I think I am too.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like, though, that the SEC and the ACC gave in on the 9 games and all the scheduling, and now the Big Ten's like, okay, but now here's how we want it. I mean, it's like,
But here, Feinbaum said this on the scheduling show the other day. Now, if they don't back up what they said with the strength of schedule metrics,
that'll be the end of the playoff. Is basically
it
what
could
he
be
said.
the end of the playoff.
That's
The
what Paul
SEC
said.
will pull out.
Yeah.
And say no thank you moving forward.
I doubt Paul just made that up out of thin air. I'm sure he's heard that from the SEC.
So, selection show, then they have to come up with what they're doing in 2026 this year, the next week.
Yeah.
So, little ultimatum there to make sure you get this metric right. All right, that's our show. We'll do it again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. But don't go anywhere. A new show, the My Bookie Pick Show, starts in about, 45 seconds.
No new link. You just stay right here, right?
That's what I'm told.
Yeah.
Until next time, God bless you, God bless America. But don't go anywhere.
Welcome in, my Bookie Football Pick Show for week number 5, college football week number 4 in the NFL. He is Jim Dunaway. He is Lance Taylor. I am Ryan Brown. We thank you for joining us. We're going to burn through some of these games, make a few picks for you on our college football picks. Let's start early, boys, as this show is brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round. You can play all these games I'm about to mention. Every single line comes from MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round when you sign up for a new account. You get that bet back bonus up to $500. You make your first bet, they cover it up to $500 when you use code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Notre Dame fighting for their playoff lives as they go to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Arkansas coming off 2 heartbreaking losses. This game doesn't look like I thought it might in the preseason. But Notre Dame is laying 4.5 points on the road at Arkansas. I know you don't like for Arkansas. It's an early start, so that would help Notre Dame in your mind.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the money on this thing is split. I think Arkansas's offense, when you look at this Notre Dame defense, they're giving up almost 33 points per game, 119th in the FBS, which is amazing. And you look at how good this defense was playing for a national championship with Al Golden, their defense coordinator, now gone to the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals. Chris Ash takes it over. They are 12-3, their last 15 against the number. Notre Dame finally gets a win last week to get off the snide there. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Arkansas can hang with them, but I think ultimately Notre Dame wins. I'm not sure if they cover.
They're still trying to figure out their run game, Notre Dame. Why Jeremiah Love isn't a bigger factor this year. Jadarian Price had a big game last week. It just feels like that this is the last stand for Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much he's so beloved in that locker room, how much the Hogs laid on the line for Sam Pittman to turn it up. Turn that dang thing up or
Turn
whatever
that jukebox up is what he says.
One more time.
He wants that cold beer.
I think it's going to be a heck of a football game.
I do too. I like Arkansas here. Total of 64.5, by the way, so a lot of points.
Yeah, that's the thing. I probably would play this over when you look at.
You'd play the over?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned
64.5.
You mentioned the deficiencies of this Notre Dame defense. Arkansas 15th nationally in scoring at almost 44 points per game. Taylor Green's been great. I don't think this Notre Dame defense can do anything to limit him. And I think on the other side, I did see more love. I saw, obviously, Price with the 3 touchdowns. I think they get back to the basics. They run the football, but I still think it goes over the 64.5.
Yeah, I think the play is the over as well.
Okay. I like Arkansas plus 4.5 at home. One of those surprising outcomes, not necessarily who won the game last week, but how they won it, was Indiana playing Illinois. Illinois has got to lick their wounds. They got destroyed by Indiana. And now here comes USC in the Big Ten. USC a 6.5-point favorite in Champaign, total of 61 in this game. If you're Illinois, Dunaway, I don't know how you bounce back. I mean, this is a game where you kind of prove what you're made of, I think.
It is, but body clock for USC is a real thing, right? You always tell me, Lance, right? Going west to east is harder east to west.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a real game, a body clock game for USC. And then I go to the fact that quarterbacks sometimes have bad games, and Maeva has been so good, and Brett Bielema and them coming off of what they put on tape last week at Indiana. This has to be the best version of Illinois. Another fantastic game. I don't know which way to play it except the under.
Yeah, I probably would play Illinois plus the points. I mean, when we look at SC on the road last year in the Big Ten, they lost a game. I still don't know how they lost it to Michigan. They lost on the road to Minnesota. They lost on the road to Maryland. So they haven't been good going on the road yet in the Big Ten. They are first in total offense, over 600 yards per game. Illinois 7-1, their last 8 against the number. The one loss, they get walked off the field last week in Indiana.
Yeah.
But I think Altmaier can put up some points against this USC defense, which is improved, still not elite. It should be a fun game. I could see SC win but not cover. I like Illinois plus points.
What's the total?
61.
Yeah, give me the under.
So you like under 61. So over 64.5, Notre Dame at Arkansas. Under 61, USC at Illinois.
It's a totals weekend for me.
A totals weekend. All right, I like that. I like a theme. LSU is at Ole Miss in the midday window. Again, all these games available at mybookie.ag. Code next round for that bet back bonus. Easy to sign up there at mybookie.ag. And part of that sign up is using code next round to get that bet back bonus covering your first bet up to $500. LSU is at Ole Miss. The Rebs changing quarterbacks, and they're a 2-point favorite with a total of 55. You like this quarterback change, whether Simmons is healthy or not?
I think Trinidad Chambliss has been great. Simmons, I Thought he was kind of sloppy with the football, especially against Kentucky. He gets hurt. Chambliss comes in. He's been flawless. 660 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, 174 rushing yards with a couple of touchdowns there. This is a guy that's won back-to-back national championships at a smaller level at Ferris State. Lane Kiffin recruited him as, I need a quality backup that's got a lot of experience. They thought Simmons was going to be next level. We'll see how the season plays out. But I think Chambliss is the right move here. I don't know if it matters, though, Dunaway, because Blake Baker's defense giving up less than 10 points per game. To me, that's the story going into this game.
It is, and that's where the game's won for me, that turnovers. Blake Baker and them did it to a more experienced DJ Lagway a couple of weeks ago at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. This time around, you can't go from D2 Ferris State national champion and solve a Blake Baker defense, in my opinion. That's even going to help the short fields for the LSU offense. This is one of those that, and you can do this at MyBookie, where instead of getting plus 1.5, you can bet it to where you're giving 1.5, giving 2.5, giving 4.5, and getting more odds in your favor.
Right.
I would probably take this the other way and give 3.5 and make even more money at mybookie.ag.
Oh, okay. I like what you're doing there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel that good about it.
But I like where your head's at.
I just haven't seen enough from this LSU offense. Where are we on Thursday with Caden Durham playing in this game? Not that it's really mattered because they haven't been able to run the football at all.
Just assume he doesn't play. You say they've got a guy in waiting who could be just as good.
Look, I think when you look at this LSU offense right now, everybody focused on Nussmeier, and you looked at these offensive weapons when you're looking at the wide receivers.
But Harlem
Berry is the true freshman that everybody's talking about. They just say he can't do the small things right now, the things that you've got to pick up if you want to be an elite back as far as pass protection, helping out with Nussmeier on that. But Harlem Berry's going to get his opportunity this weekend and, should get double-digit touches.
Ohio State is at Washington in Big Ten play. Ohio State an 8-point road favorite up in Seattle, total of 51.5 in this game. When Ohio State plays in the Pacific Northwest, Dunaway, there's one thing you can depend on.
Them losing, usually. They're 1-3 in 4 games in the last 40 years. 3 of those in Washington, 1 in Oregon last year. They lost that.
I'm a little surprised, though, because their last 7 in the Pacific time zone, they're 6-1 straight up.
We got competing trends now.
Yeah, they are.
6-1 straight up in their last 7 in the Pacific time zone.
Since 2007.
Pacific Northwest.
You're talking Pacific Northwest, just specifically Washington and Oregon.
Yeah, Pacifically or specifically?
Both, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see what the love affair is with this game. I'm Ohio State all day long here.
Ohio State minus the 8. You don't even think twice.
I mean, Damon Williams is really good. And I think Jedfish has got his next maybe really, really good Washington quarterback. But this Ohio State defense, second right now in scoring defense, just a little over 5 points per game. And Julian Sayan's been good. 29th right now in QBR. I think they can run the football. Washington up front, our friend Brock Heward pointed this out. They just don't have the horses right now to contend in the Big Ten.
Not in the Pacific Northwest. I like Washington there. I like Washington plus the 8. I think they can win the game straight up.
What's crazy is that line has moved since you could have got it in the summer, almost 4 full points.
It was up to 12 in the summer?
Yeah, I mean, how much? It was 12.5 at one point, I think. So how much what has Ohio State done
that you don't like?
I mean, you don't like, and what has Washington done against 2 that you like that makes it move 4.5 points?
Ohio State beat Texas, and then they've disappeared.
They played nobody.
Yeah.
And when you look at Washington, Colorado State, I think Colorado State pushed them around a little bit. Washington State's a bad football team. They haven't played anybody. I agree with you. It scares me off a little bit because I'm a contrarian and all the money is on Ohio State, but I think they win the game going away.
Not in the Pacific Northwest, but in College Station. Auburn travels to Texas A&M. The Aggies, a 6.5-point home favorite, total of 53 in this game.
Oh, tough game here.
You're not kidding.
Auburn, where are you mentally coming off this? They are, the defense has played well, only giving up 16.5 points per game. They're 1-4 their last 5 out against the number. Jackson Arnold, and a lot of this is inflated because of what happened last week. He's been sacked 15 times, 4th most in the FBS right now. You got to figure this out on that offensive line. Can Auburn bounce back? Jeremiah Cobb running the football. This Texas A&M team has got a ton of speed. I think Auburn plays with them, though. I like the plus 6.5. I did last week. I took Auburn, got burned on that final safety. But I'll play the Auburn Tigers here again.
You've just got to be yourself. Jackson Arnold does. Aaron Murray said this on our show on Thursday, today if you're watching us live. that he can't shy away. You can't worry about NFL scouts. I think Milroe got into this situation last year for Alabama. Just be a running quarterback. If your first read or your second read's not there and you don't have time, you don't feel like to make it to your third and fourth read, run. You're a great athlete. Run. And if it's 2nd and 7, then that's better than 2nd and 14, right?
Yeah.
So run.
Yeah.
Run. And
Yeah.
I think that's how Auburn can win it. Run. If Cam Coleman's not open, if Eric Singleton's not open, run.
I feel the same about this game as I felt last week, and it really kind of played out this way. There was that garbage time safety. I think Auburn loses the game but plays within the number. And I hate to say that, but I think that's what happens for the Tigers.
Auburn was better than Oklahoma.
I don't disagree with you, but
again, they were playing with a quarterback with a broken throwing hand.
Yeah,
for basically the entire game.
They were, yeah, and they were better than Oklahoma, and they made some key special teams mistakes, which in close games like that on the road, that's really going to cost you.
But you usually can get those fixed in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Or 3 seasons. They've had that for 3 seasons now.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to some midday games here and then a couple night games of the college. Tennessee is at Mississippi State. It's a massive game for Jeff Lebby and the Bulldogs. Could start 4-0. Or they've started 4-0, could start 5-0 if they can get the win, 1-0 in conference. This is a smaller number than some might expect there in Starkville. Tennessee favored 8, a total of 64, so some points on the board.
Yeah, they haven't been great in these spots. 4-8, their last 12 out on the road against the number. Their defense, scoring defense, 100th nationally. Georgia game had a lot to do with that. But I do think Blake Shapen and this Jeff Lebby offense, which is much improved, scoring almost 40 points per game, will have some opportunities here. If it's going to be Mississippi State keeping this really close, so their defense has only given up 11.7 points per game, I think they've got to play well against this up-tempo offense with Aguilar, who's been one of the surprises early on in this SEC season.
For me, a couple of things. Injuries on the Tennessee defense has added to those numbers, and they're still not perfectly healthy. They're beaten up on that side of the ball. And Aguilar on the road, true road game here. Can he handle the cowbells, the intensity? If you face a little adversity early, do you stack bad plays on bad plays, or do you get your team out of it? I like Tennessee to win this game.
I think Tennessee will win the game, but I think State keeps it within the number. I think Jeff Lebby's team keeps it within the 8 there, but Tennessee is going to win the football game.
Close game Saturday is what Brown is building.
That's right. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
keep
it.
all
Everything's
the games
going to be
within
close.
the numbers.
You got them scoring, and I got them playing close. Let's go to the primetime games again. All these games at mybookie.ag. Code next round. When you sign on at mybookie.ag, use code next round. And that's going to come with a $500 bet back bonus. You make your first bet, they cover it up to $500. You lose $500 right back into your account, and you can fire down again. It's a great way to get started there. 2 good primetime games.
Wonderful, man. I played a little MyBookie last weekend, hit a little 14 parlay. It was fantastic.
Oh, you hit a 14 parlay last week.
Well, it turned into a 3 because
Would you push one side?
Have a rain out? Push one side. I forget which one it was.
Oregon is at Penn State.
By that half, by the way.
Pacific Northwest coming east for this one. Primetime whiteout game. They're in Happy Valley, and Penn State, a 3.5-point home favorite, total of 52. You don't have to follow college football very closely to know James Franklin does not do well in these games normally.
No, the transition for Oregon into the Big Ten has been pretty seamless. Look, you win the Big Ten in year 1. They've won 18 of the last 19. They did get embarrassed against Ohio State in that rematch last year. But Dan Lanning, 10-6 against top 25s, 4-4 versus top 10s, very well documented. James Franklin, 4-20 against top 10 teams, 1-17 against top 10 teams in the Big Ten. They haven't been good in these spots, but running the football, almost ran for 300 yards in this matchup last year. And I think when you look at Allen and Singleton, I think they're going to be able to run it again. The focus will be from Dan Lanning on stopping them and making Drew Aller beat them. But I think Penn State scores enough points to not only cover the 3.5, but maybe win this game by double digits.
If they, from the Big Ten championship game, if they just cut off 100 rushing yards and Penn State only rushes for 197 instead of 297, they still win the game.
Tremendous improvement, right?
That is a tremendous improvement for Oregon. I hate to be a stay away from this game kind of guy when it's one of the biggest games, but I'd stay away. I'm not sold on the Oregon receivers yet. Road game for Dante Moore, and can Oregon, and I can't believe I'm saying this about a SEC guy in Dan Lanning, can Oregon stop the run? If I played it, I think I would play Penn State and give the points.
I think I like Oregon to win. I know the 3.5-point dog. I think I like them to win outright there.
I think this will be the first Big Ten loss ever for Oregon.
Yeah, that is hard to believe. They've only been in there 1 year. Alabama is at Georgia. Georgia's got an Alabama problem. They have not been able to beat Alabama, specifically Kirby Smart. As the Georgia coach, Georgia just a 3-point favorite. Total of 53 in this game in Athens, where weather might be a factor during the day. Maybe not so much during the game, but could be a little bit of a wetter track. You'll be at this game.
I'll be there. For Kirby Smart, it's the first time he gets to play Alabama between the hedges. They don't go there a lot. And the last time that Alabama was there, Kirby Smart was on the defensive side of the football. Gunnar Stockton, very impressive. I think he can do things. This is a gut check game for Alabama's defense to me. Can they line up and play an old school phone booth game in the SEC that Alabama used to win all the time? That's what Georgia will try to do to them. And I just wonder what the Swarm can do with a whole big dose of Nate Frazier and the guys. That'll decide the game. Alabama lost the battle of the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball in Tallahassee. Have they improved enough to beat Georgia there? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia, for whatever reason, mentally can't get over the Alabama hurdle, and until they can, I'm going to take Alabama plus the points here. I know Georgia's won 33 consecutive home games over in Athens, but I think big additions with Tim Keenan coming back. One of the reasons they got pushed around up front in Tallahassee was Keenan was missing, and then Jam Miller running the football. Alabama really hasn't been consistently effective running the football, and I think maybe Jam Miller changes that. But I like Alabama plus the points.
Yeah, I think I like the Crimson. Catching 3 with Alabama, you don't get that opportunity very often. Don't know if they'll win the game. It's another one where they might lose, but keep it within the 3.
Yeah.
My gut tells me they probably win the game, though.
I'll take Georgia in a close one.
Okay, I know what you're doing there.
No, I'm seriously. I'll take Georgia in a close one.
I'm kidding with you. Let's go to a few NFL games. I want to look a lot at the late window. The early window, not spectacular. You kind of pointed that out. This may not be the best.
Oh, it's
on the surface, the best schedule you get.
A horrible weekend when you have Colts and Rams as one of the 3 or 4 best games.
I was about to bring it
that
up.
is the most improved team in football right now.
The Colts have played good football. It was literally the game I was about to bring up, Dunaway, is Colts and Browns.
3-0. Shane Steichen, I think everybody said he can coach. What's he going to do at quarterback? You bring in Daniel Jones, and they've been fantastic. Through 3 games, they've punted 1 time. The offense has been popping. You've got weapons. When you look at Tyler Warren, the rookie tight end, you look at Michael Pittman, you look at Jonathan Taylor, and their defense has played really, really good. I mean, they're blowing people out. I don't know, man. I just wonder where the Rams are going. Back-to-back East Coast games, playing Tennessee and Philadelphia, losing in the fashion they did against Philadelphia, coming back and trying to get up for this game. I mean, it is the NFL. It's a long season. McVay does a good job in those situations. But I think I would play the Colts plus 3.5.
Yeah, 2 things. 1, they don't travel by covered wagons.
I know.
A quick trip home for them. And 2, they're playing the Colts, and that's what the money's for, to get you up to win that game. I like the Rams to win this game. I like the Eagles to beat the Bucs in what is supposed to be a marquee game.
Yeah, it's the Eagles favorite 3.5 in Tampa, early window.
2 3-0 teams, but if you watch the Bucs, I'm a Bucs guy. We're lucky that we didn't lose 1, 2, or all 3 of those games. I don't know with Mike Evans out if Ibuka can be the main guy. Chris Godwin's supposed to come back after his injury to help out a little bit.
And by the way,
Baker's been great. I think the Eagles win this game.
I like the Eagles. Now, somebody did point this out, and it might have been Aaron Suttles. We were doing Bama and Bourbon yesterday. That
he's a big Bucs fan, too.
This Eagles team kind of looks like last year's Kansas City team, or somebody was saying that, where they're finding ways to win, but they don't look dominant necessarily.
Look at what their offense against Kansas City on the Sunday night game was no good.
Yep.
And then for basically 2.5 quarters against your Rams, their offense was no good. I mean, they've put about 6.5 quarters straight. Say one end of the game against the Rams is pretty bad offense.
But the Bucs offensive line, they don't have their tackles. They're so matched up there with injuries. And I think the Eagles my prayer is that Baker Mayfield doesn't get hurt and ruin the whole season just with this day. In fact, if this was a college game, I would somehow say let's sit Baker Mayfield and play for another day.
I mean, you are playing for home field potentially home field advantage in the NFC. If you were to go to 4-0, I think people would consider Tampa Bay one of the top 3-4 teams in football. I can't believe you guys are knocking this Sunday. That's a great 1:00 game. There's 3 really good 3:00 games. Now the primetime games this week suck outside of tonight's game with Seattle and Arizona.
Yeah, but after, you just named, those are the games. That's it. There are so
That's
many bad
five
games.
really good games, though.
I mean, it's the NFL. I mean, you got the Bills are playing who? The Saints.
They're playing the Saints, 16-point favorites. Yeah.
And I would lay that.
Yeah, I think I would too. I wanted to ask you about one of those late window games too, though, guys. Ravens and Chiefs. Now, when CBS had this, they're like,
for the
my
record,
gosh.
that is 2 1-2 teams. So go ahead.
No. My point was going to be when CBS had this game, they're probably like, we're good guys. We're going to be able to build this as an AFC Championship game preview, maybe. One team's going to be 1-3 after this game, which is remarkable to consider. And Baltimore's a 3-point road favorite at Kansas City.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Hey, so we're in September, and Kansas City just played in another Super Bowl in February, and they've already been dogs at home twice.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't feel good about either one of these because I think Baltimore's defense has become trash. I don't trust Kansas City's offense. You do have two elite quarterbacks in Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. I probably would play the home team.
We do expect to get Xavier Worthy back, which could help the Chiefs. I think I would play Kansas City. Orlovsky brought a great point up on our show this week that if Kansas City loses their division with what the Chargers and the Broncos look like, it's going to be difficult for them to get back in the divisional race. Meanwhile, the Ravens could lose, be 1-3, and still win their division with ease.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, one team going to be 1-3 is amazing.
That's what's amazing.
Yes. All right, mybookie.ag is where you can play all of these games. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. You sign up, use code next round, you get that $500 bet back bonus. They cover your first bet up to $500 right back into your account if you lose right there at mybookie.ag. Code next round, mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. Always use code next round at mybookie.ag. Wherever you're watching us, please make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, Next Round Live, and set your alerts so you know when we're live, which is 9 to noon every single weekday, talking football all the time. And give us a thumbs up. We appreciate that on the live broadcast. And also, don't forget, all of our podcasts are downloaded wherever you get your favorite podcast. And we ask that you subscribe and make sure you get automatic downloads. That helps us a lot when you get those automatic downloads on our audio podcast. Thank you for watching the MyBookie Football Pick Show. Enjoy your football weekend.